Welcome to the NFC West Roundtable, a weekly live show featuring top-tier insight and analysis on all things NFC West from the best creators in the division, including Los Angeles Rams creator Jake, San Francisco 49ers creator Jesse, Seattle Seahawks creator Brandon, and Arizona Cardinals creator Mike. Catch the NFC West Roundtable every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on the NFC West Roundtable YouTube channel. What is up, NFC West football fans, and welcome into another edition of the NFC West Roundtable. Week 6 is in the books. 2 winners out of the division, 2 losers, 3 teams at 4-2. We've often heard on this roundtable that the NFC West is the best division in the NFL. You're seeing it on full display. On tonight's episode, we recap what we saw in Week 6, and of course, we look ahead to what we can expect in Week 7, giving you previews and predictions coming your way this upcoming week. But for now, let's bring in the fellas. Brando looking good with the shades on. Jesse, Mike, and Jake. Brando, I'm glad you're rocking the shades this evening because you're the man I want to start with. These Seahawks. Oh, yeah. How about them? They joined the 4-2 club. Unfortunately, my Buffalo Bills, by the way, joined all your guys' 4-2 club in the wrong way. They should have been going the other way, but unfortunately, we have a lot of 4-2s going on here. The Rams 4-2, the Niners 4-2, and now, Brando, your Seahawks 4-2. And they are ascending, it feels like, each week. They beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 20-12, and in other years, maybe that's not a gigantic accomplishment, but these Jags come off of beating Kansas City in prime time in a high-flying shootout-style game, and the Seahawks are proving week in and week out that they are consistently good in consistent areas, and that is this defense, Sam Darnold, and maybe the best wide receiver in the NFL, or certainly an argument for it right now, JSN, who has 8 catches, 162 yards, and a touchdown. Sam Darnold, 295, 2 touchdowns. These Seahawks continue to roll. Talk to me about your Hawks, who in the offseason, it didn't feel like we knew a whole lot about, and now it feels like going into Week 7, this is a team nobody wants to see right now.
Well, I think you captured it pretty well there, Z-Bot, in that this does feel like a team that's more coming together, more that it's not peaked or it's been at its best version yet, that you're going to potentially see that down the line. Injuries holding up, hopefully, that's a big question in this NFL season more than ever. But as you talked about, both sides of the ball have a lot to build upon here and feel good about as far as the season goes along through. First, let's just start with the defense. I hammered it last week with my frustrations and going up against that Tampa Bay defense at home and not drawing up more things from a defensive coordinator standpoint to help your players out. McDonald talked about that throughout this week, sort of acknowledging that that was a little bit of the air in the way. Okay, now get the adjustment on point. That's what you did from the rip here. More stack boxes, more simulated pressures, more blitzing in this game to a wider margin, and it was enough of a mix to there where you were giving Trevor Lawrence a lot of problems. Gentlemen, 33 pressures in this game from the Seattle Seahawks defense on only 42 dropbacks for the Jacksonville Jaguars. You quite literally almost had a pressure every single time that Trevor Lawrence was dropping back to pass. You kept that offense down. You stopped the run as they have throughout the course of this season. You got some bodies back in tow in this game, which did help, especially DeMarcus Lawrence, who went just absolutely crazy with a couple of sacks, monster against the run. You've got your whole defensive line really going kind of crazy there in this game, where Byron Murphy had another great game. He's just really come forward. Leonard Williams doing it all across the board. And then offensively to the other side of it. Yeah, Jackson Smith-Njigba right now is on pace for 1,972 yards this year, which, folks, that would break the all-time NFL record for receiving yards in a season. Now, granted, we haven't quite hit the halfway mark. There's a lot more work to be done here. But consider the fact that Sam Darnold is only 20th in passing attempts in the NFL right now. So he's on this blistering pace without having the back of the benefits of that high-volume passing attack you would typically see. Certainly Calvin Johnson saw it when he set the record a couple of years ago. And then you have Sam Darnold. I'm just hoping maybe today, Z-Bot, I don't know, maybe I'm just a dreamer on this, that I might get a couple of the people on this panel that have been so down on Sam, that Sam, seeing ghosts. Hoping maybe we get a few people coming back a little bit, eating a little bit of crow finally here. How many more performances do you need to see? How much more efficiently does he need to play? He didn't have a running game in this game, as he hasn't through a lot of this year. It's not just made to be set up easy for him, and he's getting the job done. He did it again in this game. He's playing as good as any quarterback in this sport. I'm sure there's others that we can go, I take this guy, I take that guy. But how he's playing right now, there's nobody playing better.
Well, he's no Jacoby Brissett, Brandon. We'll get to him in a little bit here, but I want to still talk about Sam Darnold, because you had mentioned in the offseason frequently that you thought that this team was going to be built on the back of the defense, which of course it has been, but you also thought it was going to be a run-first team. You look at this game, as you mentioned, just couldn't really get it going, right? Kenneth Walker, 3.4 yards a carry on 10 carries. Charbonnet, even worse, 2 yards per carry on 12 carries. So run game non-existent here. How confident, or I shouldn't say how confident, but how excited are you, rather, that you know that you can rely on the arm of Sam Darnold for this team to win you football games, not needing to do the ground and pound in order to get in and out of every week with a W?
Well, I'd be lying to say that I could foresee this offseason as being a way you could go win football games. I thought that the formula was going to be pretty hard-lined for how you're going to go out and get your business done. But that's why I want this, for us to all kind of acknowledge how impressive this is he's not getting it done when it's made to be easy. And he's also being asked to take a lot more of the heaping of contributing in than we thought he was going to have to. And so this just speaks to me of a guy that's just continued to take his game to another level, even from what we saw in Minnesota. We're all sitting here debating on whether he could carry over the performance from last year. What if he could elevate his performance beyond last year? And that's what you're seeing right now.
Yeah, I think you are. And what you're seeing from JSN is just unprecedented. The breakout here, Brandon, I mean, you knew there was talent there, but you lose DK Metcalf in the offseason. There were tons of questions here, right? Are you going to be able to replace this guy? What's this offense going to look like? Is it just going to be completely non-functional without a pass game? Sam Darnold, can he really repeat what he did in Minnesota? Now you have no Metcalf. I mean, what do you make of this breakout from JSN here?
It's a little bit I don't really have a good explanation for it. When you look and you're scouting wide receivers coming out of college that play in the slot, they do not transition to the outside. That's just not a normal thing that happens. It goes the opposite way. In fact, you'll see outside receivers who become slot-only cats on the inside. And it's no bad thing to be a slot-only guy. We've seen number one wide receivers operate from the slot, that's possible. But what's really cool about this thing with Jackson and what he's done this year, a guy that's played slot all in college at Ohio State, slot here through the first 2 years mainly, he's now playing 80% of his snaps from the outside. Seahawks are doing out of a lot of condensed splits, but 80% of his snaps basically coming from that outside position, showing that he can do it everywhere and still be effective.
Seahawks get the W. They are one of the best teams in the NFL through 6 weeks. We look forward to watching them next week in primetime at 10 p.m. Eastern. Those on the West Coast, you're in luck. Jake, what do you got for me?
I told you so. Brandon, I told you they were going to win this game. I told you Seattle's legit. They're my 5th team in the league right now in my power rankings. I mean, JSN, I've called him a superstar. They've got a fun team to watch, man. They really do. So I got a sweep. I don't know about you guys and my predictions, but I nailed it this week. So
you nailed it right there, Jake. This is the fun thing about Seattle, is that they're actually fun to watch too. I mean, I don't know if you would think that a Sam Darnold-led offense, and this is the problem when you are constantly drawn back to the era that he was drafted in, or the situation he was drafted in, rather. You don't think about a fun team to watch. Seattle is a fun team to watch. We saw what they did against Tampa Bay, despite going pressures down. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
39. Trevor
and both
Lawrence
sides of the ball, which, by the way,
the whole game.
And no one's playing both sides of the ball right now in the NFL. It's very rare you're finding two solid units right now on either side.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, like I think when you watch Seattle, this is exactly what Jesse and I were afraid of when it came to McDonald. I think they have a really good mesh between the offense and the defense kind of marrying, and then they have a good special teams that's not going to shoot themselves in the foot. So there you go. They're a really good football team. All right, I said it.
Well, so are your LA Rams, Jake, and to kick it right back to you here. They weren't great on Sunday, that's for sure. My good God, Jake, this was a tough watch, but hell, a win's a win. They really got it in gear in the second half, but the Rams tried to do everything in their power to allow the Cooper Rush-led Baltimore Ravens to stay in this one. In fact, the Ravens should have taken the lead at half if Harbaugh didn't opt for Mark Andrews to play quarterback on the goal line 2 snaps in a row. I don't know what was going on there. Credit, of course, to the Rams defense. A goal line stand is a goal line stand. I would just imagine Derrick Henry's got a better chance to get in from the 1 than Mark Andrews. But nonetheless, the Ravens never put up a point beyond the field goal they scored early. Rams win 17-3. Cooper Rush bad in this game. He ends up getting benched. It makes you wonder why Huntley wasn't the starter to begin with. But the Rams, their defense really got it in gear, forced a bunch of turnovers early on from Matt Stafford. I don't know if the weather was a factor, but things seemed a little bit off between him and Devontae Adams. He had him wide open in the back of the end zone. Adams had a drop a little bit later on from there. They did finally find their footing, and they're now 4-2. This is a big bounce back win, Jake, off that loss to the Niners on Thursday Night Football. So even though it wasn't the prettiest thing in the world, what did you make of what you saw from your Rams against the Ravens?
Yeah, so initially I was really not too happy about that win, and then I went and I watched the All-22, and I found myself really optimistic about the future with this team. First off, the defense was dominant. I mean, that is the second fewest points the Ravens have scored at home in their franchise history. The Rams dominated them. They absolutely dominated them on the defensive side. And I think the big thing here is that you wanted to see that bounce back because there are a lot of people that just weren't giving Mac Jones and the 49ers any credit. I heard JV squad over and over, and I was just tired of hearing it. And I understand Cooper Rush was at quarterback, but I wanted to see Chris Shula not play Cooper Rush like he's Josh Allen, right? And actually not let him just have his way with the defense. And that's what they did. I mean, they played up. They were physical. Darius Williams looked great in coverage. Really, all across the board, the defense was great. The pass rush was getting there. Jared Verse is tied for the league lead in pressures. So people who said that he was falling off, that was ridiculous. Anyway, he is back to the league lead tie, but he had 8 pressures in this game. Byron Young had 6. He continued his sack streak. He has 7.5 sacks. He had 7.5 all of last year. The interior defensive line was great. Sean Dolak finally gets an opportunity to play. We talked about him in the offseason. He was sensational, but not as good as Nate Landman, who set a franchise record for 17 tackles in a game for the Rams. And he also punched a ball out. Quentin Lake had a pick. Quentin Lake had a fumble recovery. I just thought the defense looked sensational to bounce back. Derrick Henry had his yards, but when push came to shove, they absolutely dominated him at the line. Jesse had a huge fan crush on Poona Ford. You can see why. When you watch the film, he just absolutely blows up the run game. It doesn't matter who it is. Big reason why they're able to stop Derrick Henry was Poona Ford. Derrick Henry had plenty of, decent carries, but the Rams basically were not going to let him score, and that was the name of the game. And then the offense, I kind of feel like, the offense, they didn't put up the points that you would have wanted, but they moved the ball. Stafford looked fine, and then you look at the fact Nakua goes down in this game, and, you don't have Tutu Atwell. You find out right before the game, so I like the Rams' ability to kind of adapt on the fly. I like that they got Whittington involved. I like that they got Tyler Higbee involved. Terrence Ferguson played the most snaps of his career. But the biggest thing, the reason why I feel so good about this team right now is the offensive line looked miles better. Okay, Steve Avila, I kept saying, he needs to play. Pass protection was sensational. They only gave up 3 pressures in this game on Matthew Stafford. And Matthew Stafford, he has been dealing with, as PFF has put it, the 28th best pass protection, and he is up there in the MVP conversation. So what's going to happen now that the offensive line is starting to figure itself out? Stay tuned. But I think the Rams, I understand they didn't blow out the Ravens, but I think too many people take it for granted to win in this league, and that is not, just Rams fans or not Rams fans. I think everybody takes it for granted to win in this league. A win is a win. And when you go on the road and you travel 3,000 miles away and you play in rainy and 30-mile-an-hour wind conditions, just getting out of there with a win is something important. So on the other hand, that's a Super Bowl winning coach on the other sideline, so he's no chump either.
Now, you're dead on. The defense was incredible, and of course, a win's a win. You do factor in, obviously, the travel there, but you do look at this Baltimore Ravens defense, and they're on pace to be historically bad going into that Rams game, right? They allow 41 to the Bills, 38 to the Lions, 37 to the Chiefs, 44 to the Texans. Then you have the Rams here, where the entire first half, they couldn't really do anything, find their footing a bit, get to 17 points, get out of there with a W. But was there any concern on your end knowing what this Ravens D has allowed going into that game and what the Rams offense really wasn't able to take advantage of in that one?
So here's why there wasn't. I actually brought this up on my channel. I think it's very easy to be like, hey, CJ Stroud threw 4 touchdowns against this team, right? And Ruben Lowry III, I believe that's his name, gave up 2 of them. He is on the Colts now. That's where we're at. They didn't have Marlon Humphrey last week. They did not have Kyle Hamilton last week. They didn't have Alohi Gilman last week. They traded for Alohi Gilman. It was that bad in the secondary. So they made those, that move to get Gilman. He was a factor in this game. And then, of course, you had Kyle Hamilton, who's one of the best safeties in all of football, and Marlon Humphrey, who, when he's healthy, can be one of the better corners. And they were missing those guys. I think the Texans, they just would not let him get up off the mat. But Ruben Lowry, like, with all due respect to the guy, he's in the NFL, so he's good enough to play in the NFL. That is one of the worst games I've ever seen played by a singular player at the safety position. So I had a feeling he wasn't going to get the start against the Rams, and then I started to temper my expectations, and I had 31-20, I believe, and I kind of felt like it was going to be a closer game than that. So I think it's a great question that you just asked, but I'm not really worried, no.
Puka Nacua, any worry there, by the way, getting banged up in this one?
There's some concern. I say it's a blessing in disguise because it's not a long-term injury and it's not a high ankle sprain. And those are the two biggest things that I think I was most concerned about. But he is overused, okay? He is. He's force-fed. And so now it gives you an opportunity to, use some other guys. Get Jordan Whittington involved more. Get Terrence Ferguson involved more. Use Tutu Atwell more. While also, he's not going to have that wear and tear on his body. And I don't think he plays against the Jaguars. And then you have a bye week, and I don't think he plays against the Saints. I think we'll see him next against the 49ers when they go to Santa Clara, and that's how I would play it. I am not at all. When you think about the 2021 team that won the Super Bowl, do they win that Super Bowl without Cooper Kupp? If your answer is no, there you go. Because Puka Nacua is just on the same par as Cooper Kupp was in the Super Bowl season. He is that player, and if you lose him for a long time or he's not ready to go in the playoffs, you're going to have way more problems than that. So you have Devontae Adams. He's been a number one receiver in the past. There's really no excuse to not win football games, even without Puka.
100% hope Puka gets healthy soon because him and JSN going back and forth, it feels like, for the top dog in terms of that position. And Emeka Egbuka out of nowhere, too, who's been incredible. Mike, do you have something?
Yeah, I was just going to say that coming from a person on the outside, I feel like there should be a level of concern with an offense, not with Puka Nacua. We've seen, you guys weren't really able to do anything with the practice squad or the JV team, however you call this, the Baltimore Ravens team. I think there should be a level of concern. Now, obviously, you're going to be learning from this, and hopefully that all gets fixed up this next time around. But I'm hearing you, and you're saying all these good things, and rightfully so. You're covering the team, but I do think that with Puka Nacua, that seems like to be a majority of your passing game. The moment he went down, it seemed like it went on a decline. What is going on with Devontae Adams? Is the connection just not there? Are they being targeted as much, or what's going on with Devontae?
Well, you bring up a great point, and Devontae, it's weird because you can tell people that watched the game and people that didn't, and they're like, Stafford just can't connect with Devontae. It's actually Stafford was putting it on the money, and Devontae just dropped it. I think he dropped 4 passes in this game. They only charged him with 1, but Stafford's been dealing with some drops. They missed Tutu Atwell in that one for sure. So I think Atwell being back is going to be huge, but the activation of Kyron Williams in the passing game, which I've been pleading for the last 2.5 years, that is starting to come together. And I feel like, you have that, and you have Tyler Higbee, which of course Matthew Stafford is a really good connection with. I think they're going to be okay. And I'll tell you this right now, as much as I love Puka Nacua, and I still do believe he is a top 3 football player in this league, my biggest issue with Puka is that McVay gets really kind of overzealous about a player and kind of forgets about other guys. And he's been doing this a long time. You saw, the Super Bowl season, Cooper Kupp, everything he was doing. Robert Woods was capable of doing some of that. Maybe not all of it, but a lot of it. And Robert Woods is sitting there in week 8 where he's got 300 yards receiving and Kupp is already over 1,000. There's always been kind of that issue of balancing it out. So I think this is going to force him to balance out the passing attack, balance out the run game. And I think it will ultimately make the Rams a more, more dimensional offense. And that's really what I think they're missing right now.
We've recapped our 2 winners. We'll get to our 2 losers on the back end. Right now, we'll give a shout out to our friends over on RotoWire. You've heard me talk about them a bunch. You haven't heard me talk about this new awesome feature that they have on their premium subscription. So, as you know, we love using Sleeper here on the NFC West Roundtable. RotoWire has this incredible tool that gives you an advantage on your sleeper picks in all of the other sports books as well. So you head on over to RotoWire, you go to picks and props, then you go down here to sport, NFL, and then top picks and props. And this best NFL picks and props outlay here, it gives you an advantage on whether or not to go more or less on certain matchups. So to give you an example here, we're talking about the Rams. Right off the bat, it looks like one of the best plays of the week based on the matchup, according to RotoWire, is Kyren Williams more than 64.5 rushing yards against Jacksonville. So what it does is it takes a deep dive into the player, the matchup they're going up against, and then the line that they have over on Sleeper and all of the other sites. So it gives you an advantage, helps you make better picks, then it helps you cash in over on Sleeper. So if you want to get in on that, make better picks, and of course take advantage of all of the other awesome features over on RotoWire, do so with a premium subscription and do it with a 15% off promo code RTS. Links in the description below. Click it. Sign up for a premium subscription. Use the promo code RTS for 15% off. Awesome stuff. I love stuff like that, by the way, because you never really know, like, oh, is there what's going on this week or that week? You see the numbers, boom, you go one way or another, and you're on your way. All right, we are going to go. I don't want to do that one right now because I want to talk to Mike about these Cardinals because I watched this entire football game, and I think there's a lot of conversation to be had here. I think there is a ton. The Arizona Cardinals go out against what could be the best team in the NFL right now, the Indianapolis Colts. They go on the road. Jacoby Brissett goes back to where he is familiar with multiple years as the starting quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts, and he balls out. I mean, this is the best passing game or best outing through the air the Cardinals have had all season long, and Jacoby Brissett's season debut here. 320 yards on 44 attempts, 2 touchdowns. Zay Jones getting heavily involved. Mind you, this is all without Marvin Harrison Jr., who they lost early on in the football game. 27 points scored by Arizona. They take the lead late. They relinquish the lead. Then they're right on the doorstep to win it. Could not get in the end zone on 4th down. They fall 4 points shy of a Colts team who's rolling. They're 5-1 right now. So, Mike, I want to talk about the game first, then we'll get to the obvious here in terms of the quarterback. But what did you make of what you saw here? Because the Cardinals were moving and grooving through the air. I think it's the defense here that you were hoping would kind of bail you out, and it just felt like late wasn't able to get a stop against this high-flying Colts offense.
Yeah, I mean, this Colts team is as advertised when it comes down to the offensive side of the ball. I mean, you can pressure Daniel Jones, but for some reason, he's playing like Tom Brady out there. It's like he sees it with like multiple eyes. Like he just knows how to beat everything. Like we actually took him down once. We were very close a couple different times with Josh Sweat, but like he's just getting rid of that ball and zipping it, man. He's playing with a lot of confidence right now, and this offense is functioning very, very well. And on top of that, they got one of the best running backs in Jonathan Taylor over there. And as you can tell by the stats, he ran wild on the Arizona Cardinals, 123 yards and a touchdown, 21 carries. But I mean, overall, I felt like the Arizona Cardinals did a very good job stepping toe-to-toe with the best offense or one of the best offenses in the NFL. And that's one thing I will take, pride in. Now, no, I'm not happy that the Cardinals are currently on a 4-game losing streak. But when you're looking at the 4 games, the Cardinals have lost by 1 point by the 49ers, 3 points by the Seahawks, 4 points by the Colts, and then 1 point by the freaking Titans. So it's like the Cardinals are so in these games, and I don't want to live in what ifs, right? Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but the Cardinals could potentially be a better team than this 2-4 team. But like what they need to learn is how to close out games. And unfortunately, with these 4 games, they are not able to close it. Now, we relied on our defense in those last 3 losses. We relied on our offense here with Jacoby Brissett to come in here and pull off the win. And we were there. We were there right there at the doorstep to potentially score a touchdown. They had 2 timeouts left, and unfortunately, we just weren't able to run the ball at least a couple times. But overall, I was pretty proud of this team. But in order for the Cardinals to even beat this Colts team, you're going to have to put up points on points on points on points. And honestly, even myself, as long as everybody also on this roundtable kind of counted out the Cardinals, right? I think the predictions were somewhere around the realm of like 33-10 or 28-10, 28-17, right? It almost kind of seemed like everybody was having them as being blown out. And honestly, I was too. I didn't expect the Cardinals to come out here and look as good as they did, because when Jacoby Brissett, I kind of already knew he was going to start from like Tuesday. I just didn't have the full confirmation that he was going to start. I knew Kyler Murray was going to miss at least a week. So I kind of already had my head of Jacoby. I was actually just excited to see what a new quarterback is going to look like with the system, because so many people were saying that if you fire Drew Petzing, that was going to fix this Arizona Cardinals offensive woes. And what I ended up seeing with the guy with 1 week of preparation, 1 week of practices, he played one of the best games I've seen with the small sample size of preparation that I've ever seen. And I've been talking about this all freaking year long when it comes down to Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray's got the intangibles to be a good quarterback. He just he's not willing to take a hit. And within the system, you need to stand up tall in the pocket and step up in the pocket and deliver the dots. I've seen it in the second half of the 49ers game, and I give him a lot of credit for doing that. It's just the inconsistency of Kyler Murray is that when you hit him a couple times or you rattle his cage, he moves out of the pocket. He gets a little spooked. So that seems to be like how you rattle Kyler Murray. Now, yes, he's dynamic. I'm not going to come out here so Jacoby Brissett is better than Kyler Murray, but maybe within the system, you can very well see Jacoby Brissett really functioning at a very high level with this Drew Petzing's offense. Now, yes, he did play under him, and he knows the system very well because he had some time with him in the Cleveland Browns. And then it was just kind of a easy transition, but we all heard that Michael Wilson was a bum, right? We all heard that Zay Jones was a bum, right? All these guys, these are playmakers that can be playmakers for the Cardinals. I'm not coming out here saying they're top 3 or top 4, top 5, or even top 10, but these are guys that can catch the ball and can make an impact if you just give them the opportunity. We saw an offense that was spreading the ball around to Trey McBride, or AKA Traquan, like they call him. Also Zay Jones, Greg Dortch got involved, Michael Wilson. This is an offense that can function in a high level of the NFL, and we've seen it here in this game, 1 game sample size. So am I bummed out? Of course I am. We're on a 4-game losing streak. We are the only team in the NFC West at 2-4. Hell yeah, I'm bummed out. This is not a good feeling to be in, but at the end of the day, I guess if you want to take some sort of solace or some sort of positivity, is we were standing toe-to-toe with this team, and at the end of the day, I guess that's all it is. Hopeful optimism.
Well, you said it, Mike, right? It might not be fair to say Jacoby Brissett is better than Kyler Murray after 1 game, but the fact of the matter is he was significantly better in this game than Kyler Murray has been in any game in 2025. And when you look at the numbers, Kyler Murray hasn't cracked 220 yards once this season. In 3 of his 5 starts, he's had 200 yards through the air or less. And then you just nailed it, right? You got a week of preparation here. You come in an offense, Marvin Harrison Jr. gets hurt, plus the whole fan base is begging for the OC to get fired because it feels like it's completely inept. And here he is, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns. They're 9-point favorites, or they're 9-point underdogs in this game, Mike. And if you didn't, throw the records out and throw out what you know about the 2 teams, the Cardinals didn't look anywhere close to a 9-point dog in this game. Yeah. They went toe-to-toe with Indianapolis. So is it more so that the fact that this is even being talked about is the primary concern? The fact that you have a backup coming in, you even have to talk about this, does that say enough about the situation with Kyler? What are Arizona fans saying, and what do you make of this whole thing based on kind of where to go here?
It's a mess, man. It really is. You got a portion of the fan base that are, which I like to call Kyler Murray stands, right? And obviously, Jesse knows the Brock Purdy stands. It's almost very similar to the Kyler Murray stands. And then you got the other side of the coin where, I don't think anybody out here is saying Jacoby Brissett needs to be your future. Nobody's that delusional out there, but I think that people are willing to see a fun offense again. People are willing to see this offense be an NFL offense under Jacoby Brissett. Even if we lose, we can go ahead and plan for a top 10 pick and potentially get yourself a quarterback. And like I said before, this offense has the pieces. The O-line can be fixed here and there. We can get a couple pieces here and there. Maybe we can get another playmaker on the outside. But this offense can function very well. You just need a quarterback that's going to be willing to take the hit. You're going to need a quarterback that's going to be able to, step up in the pocket and allow a play to develop. And unfortunately, we're seeing a lot of bailouts from Kyler Murray. Now, what are the fan base saying out there, right? It's crazy because now we're talking about people saying, well, why didn't Drew Petzing open up the playbook like he did for Jacoby Brissett? That's crazy. It's nuts to me because during the Seattle Seahawks game, Kyler Murray threw the ball 41 times. Jacoby Brissett threw the ball 44 times. And Kyler Murray only had 200 yards in that game. So you're telling me in those 3, passing attempts, he was going to somehow accumulate 100 and plus yards? No. Jacoby Brissett led the Arizona Cardinals in the most amount of explosive plays in this game with 1 week of preparation. I believe there was a total of 7 20-yard throws down the field, and that's something that Kyler Murray hasn't been doing all year long. We have 1 or 2 explosive games, 1 or 2 explosive plays a game. And you're telling me that Jacoby Brissett's coming off the bench and doing this and dotting people up. Now, yes, the secondary, they don't have a Tre'Davious Ward. He ended up getting, I believe, a concussion pregame. Wild situation. But he took advantage of the situation. They were weak up the middle of the field, and he was dotting them up. And even things where when the Arizona Cardinals are behind the chains, 3rd and 17, 3rd and 15, when everybody feels like, oh man, all hope is lost, we're gonna get a screen play coming up, or maybe like a draw play, most likely a run play by Petzing. You have Jacoby Brissett diming it up. 3rd and 17, 3rd and 15. He was not scared. And that's one thing I also want to mention as well. I mentioned this before. I don't think that this coaching staff, regardless of what they're saying, they don't have the confidence in Kyler Murray to not have a glitchy moment. They don't have the confidence. You're telling me that they allowed Jacoby Brissett to throw the ball 44 times and put the ball in his hand in that last drive when it was pass to try to get that first down and potentially a touchdown, touchdown for the win against the Colts. This coaching staff believes in Jacoby Brissett in terms of in that game plan. But now we hear Jonathan Gannon come out here after the game. Oh, Kyler Murray, when healthy, is going to be the guy. I'm just going to say this right now. Jonathan Gannon is going to die on this sword. If this doesn't work out for the Arizona Cardinals, I'm a little pissed that he was so quick for it, but I get it on the other side of the coin. There's a lot of money tied up to Kyler Murray. He's the face of the franchise because of the money that's owed him, but I think that's what it all comes down to. I think Bidwell and Monty made it clear this is the guy you're going to be rolling with, regardless if we've seen flashes from Jacoby Brissett. It's very unfortunate, but it's kind of the cards that we've been dealt.
You mentioned the explosive plays. You can't help but wonder your 3 losses prior to Sunday are by a combined 5 points. If you have a couple more explosive plays, I mean, maybe this whole division is 4-2. Who knows? So I feel your frustration there, Mike. It's tough to watch a guy come in and ball, and you have to give the keys back to the franchise because of the amount of money and investment that you put into him, and of course the optics of it all. So We'll see what happens moving forward here. But Arizona gave Indy all they can handle.
I had to laugh at that one because I hear the exact same thing.
I figured.
How come the playbook's so much more open for Mac Jones? Why don't they do that for Purdy? It's like, it's the same plays. Purdy just doesn't take the checkdowns that Mac Jones takes. It's so fan bases are so funny. Like they'll talk themselves into anything to make their guy look good.
And here's the thing: the third down efficiency for the Arizona Cardinals is not like, we have never seen a 9-14. We're usually around the 50%. 9-14 third down efficiency is actually pretty darn good for this offense. He did a really good job and he balled out, but that's the most laughable thing I've heard in my life in terms of why we're not opening up the playbook on Petzing. That fan base or that portion of the Cardinals, they're willing to throw that guy under the bus because of this, and now they want to throw some other things up there. It's ridiculous, man.
Well, let's open up that playbook even further on our main man, Mac Jones. Let's talk about the game. Jesse, you were in attendance for this one, and it wound up coming up just shy. We expected fireworks in this one. We got it in the first half. It was 20-16 at half. Bucks led. Really cooled off in the second half. Defenses stepped up. Bucks wound up pulling away late. 30-19, Tampa Bay wins it behind the back of the current MVP of the NFL, Baker Mayfield, 17-23, 256 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he's throwing the ball to guys that I don't know if the casual fan would have any idea is an NFL player. That's what's even more impressive about what he's doing. Mac Jones, once again, a ton of pass attempts. There's no shortage of that with when he's starting, they're slinging it. 39 attempts, 347 yards. Unfortunately, though, a couple of errors in this game that we haven't seen prior. 2 interceptions, the one mainly late that really sealed this one. Kendrick Bourne balled out on the arm of Mac Jones. You know, watching this whole game, Jesse, it really did feel like the Niners offense was going toe-to-toe with Tampa. They felt poised to be in this one throughout, and it didn't really feel like there was a major gap between those two offenses. They just couldn't cash in. So what did you make of this game? Niners falling to 4-2 against the Bucks.
Well, 49ers Red Zone says that we lost because I was there, but then explain how we beat the Rams when I was there. That doesn't make any sense, but A for effort, I guess. Yeah, listen, I mean, there's no shame in losing to the Bucks. When we made our Super Bowl predictions, I was back and forth. I almost said the Bucks. I ended up going with the Rams, but I think the Bucks are a very, very good team. Yes, they're without all of their receivers at this point, but Tez Johnson, man, Oregon Duck, 7th round pick. In my prediction show, I did pick the 49ers to win, but I said Tez Johnson is probably going to have one play of 50, 60 yards in this game, and it could be the difference, and that's exactly the way that it went. And Baker Mayfield is playing at an extremely high level. He had the one play that broke the 49ers back on the scramble on like, what was it, 3rd and 13 or whatever. I mean, absolutely incredible. So shout out to the Bucs. I mean, they did their thing. Losing the game is not the bad part of this, though. It's absolutely the Fred Warner injury. And now this defense is without Bosa, without Fred Warner. We were in a situation where last week we were talking about trade scenarios and how do they add somebody to the roster that can maybe potentially fill in for Bosa and then be a part of this defense going forward next year and beyond. But now I feel like this is not the time to make a trade because you're not going to replace Bosa and you're not going to replace Fred. And I don't believe that this team was necessarily a Super Bowl team, even if those guys were healthy. Really, for me, it was all about the future of this team, and that is still intact. But Mac Jones, definitely some of the magic rubbed off a little bit. I will say the first interception was 100% on Kendrick Bourne. It was a choice route. He ran the pivot. He should have ran an out. Mac Jones expected him to run the out. It looks like a nasty pick, but that's on Bourne. And then later on in the game, a 4th down, essential arm punt, which isn't as bad as like throwing an interception on the 1st down. The problem with that is that he had Tonjes wide open right underneath Jennings and easily could have got the 1st down and kept things rolling. So, listen, Mac Jones didn't play his best game by any means, but he threw the ball another 39 times. Brock Purdy, throughout the course of his career, over 40 starts, including the playoffs, has thrown the ball 39 times just twice in his career. Mac Jones did it 39 times, 42 times, 49 times, and then back to 39 times. Every single time out, he's being asked to do a lot more than what has been required of the quarterback position as of late. And I think he did an admirable job, especially being the backup quarterback. Now the 49ers turn. They have Brock Purdy coming back. It looks like Ricky Pearsall and Kittle conveniently will be back with him. So we'll see how the future goes. But for me, losing Fred Warner was certainly a big deal. You could see that it affected the whole team. And I think it took a while for them to get going. The 49ers still struggle to run the football. Christian McCaffrey averaged another 3 yards in a cloud of dust. A lot of that is on the offensive line, certainly, but he is not as explosive as what he once was. And I think just ultimately the magic on this team ran out a little bit until some of these players get back, until they get the Kittles and the Pearsalls. And Jawan Jennings, I'm going to bring him up. I know that he's a favorite of Jake's, but Jawan Jennings throwing a fit on the sideline. First of all, he didn't get paid this offseason the way that he wanted to. He's throwing a fit on the sideline. Then they start force feeding him the ball for God knows what reason. I mean, we're talking about a wide receiver 3 here. I don't know why he should be able to demand targets and get them. And then he gets a boneheaded penalty throwing a corner to the ground for absolutely no reason, gets a 15-yard penalty, essentially takes any chance of 7 off the board, and the 49ers have to settle for 3. He runs a horrible route later on in the game and a crucial 3rd down. I'm over Jawan Jennings on this roster. I heard that the Giants are interested. If you can get rid of him, I say you do it now. He's not going to be back next year. All the things that you love about Jawan Jennings are now becoming an issue. And you have guys like Jawan Jennings and Trent Williams who are supposed to be the veterans. They're the dogs of this team getting penalties that are costing the 49ers. These are leaders, guys that are supposed to be so important. You've got a bunch of young players and a bunch of backups you're relying on. They're all doing their job to the best of their ability. And you got your best players going out here doing boneheaded things like getting penalties at crucial moments in the game. That's completely unacceptable, in my opinion. Not a fan of that. So, I don't know. Tough loss. Again, it's the Bucs. I don't think it's the end of the world. I still think the 49ers absolutely can make the playoffs. The schedule plays out for that. But losing Fred Warner is soul-crushing. It just is.
Absolutely soul crushing for anybody watching that. It was just a gruesome injury and one of the league's best, of course. I think we just had a conversation recently about him being one of the best players overall in the NFL, and you lose him. You hate to see it. So you look at Bosa, obviously already out. Now Fred Warner. What does this defense look like to you moving forward here, Jesse?
I think it's tough to dictate what the defense is going to look like. But what I will say is, I'm going to judge Robert Saleh not off the results, but off the process. I want to see him get extremely exotic. He can't sit back and cover 3 and cover 6 and do the things that he's been doing. He's going to have to force pressure. He's going to have to simulate pressure. He's going to have to be very crafty. And Robert Saleh is a very good defensive coach. I would say one gripe that I've had with him in the past is that he is pretty vanilla. That's no longer going to be the case. He's going to have to be extremely exotic. He's going to have to switch up his coverages post snap. He's going to have to show blitz, simulate that pressure, and figure some things out. Now, I don't know that it'll necessarily work. I don't know how you work around not having Bosa and Fred Warner, but you got to try. So as long as he puts in the effort and dials things up, let the results fall where they may. Ultimately, though, listen, this is a team that has Kyle Shanahan as their OC and their head coach. They've got a quarterback in Brock Purdy, who they've said is the franchise guy. They said that by paying him. You've got a first-round wide receiver in Ricky Pearsall. You've got an all-time great in George Kittle. You still have CMC, who is a former OPOY, and you got Trent Williams, and eventually Ayuk will be back. You got to win on offense. Now's the time. The pressure's on Purdy. The pressure's on Kyle Shanahan. You guys got to go out. You got to figure out how to put up 28 points a game or more and see if you can outpace these teams, because that's probably what it's going to take from here on out.
And we'll see what that looks like on Sunday Night Football against an Atlanta Falcons team that just put up 10,000 yards against my Bills. Mike?
Quick question. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was going to ask about the Fred Warner thing, but you kind of got that already. But I got a question. Is there an issue with Ayuk again? I saw some sort of drama out there that he's like scrubbed his Instagram. What the hell's going on with Ayuk?
Yeah. Okay. So really weird. First of all, it came from NBC Sports Bay Area. Jennifer Lee Chan. Usually, like, true Big J journalists don't get stuck in the mud with this stuff, but she did. Supposedly, he scrubbed his account months ago and never put things back on. Here's what I will say, though. I have heard behind the scenes that he's healthy. He's been healthy. He wants to play. And the 49ers are not playing him for whatever reason. Now, that might not be so nefarious. It easily could be because they just want to make sure he's fully healthy. It could be because they're shopping him. Maybe I got bogus information. I will say that where I got the information from has been very reliable in the past, so I tend to believe it. But we'll see. I don't know. I mean, to me, him scrubbing his Instagram, whether that was a day ago or 2 months ago, says that there's still some weird things going on between him and the 49ers. And it just has been an issue since he was searching for his contract. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm led to believe that he's healthy and could be playing. And he's pretty pissed about not being out on the field. So
Jesse, Jennings, Ayuk, Niners were thinking of leading up to this would be buyers at the trade deadline. You're kind of saying maybe there's more of a potential for them being sellers.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jennings would be more likely. I would be open to trading Ayuk for sure, just because you don't know how he's going to come back from this. I actually floated last week trading Ayuk for Thibodeau from the Giants and maybe get like a fifth back in return or something like that if you're going to pay some of the salary for Ayuk. Just because long-term, I think that is the best thing, and I think Thibodeau can contribute to this team going forward as well. But I don't know. I don't know that either one gets done, but Jennings is starting to make a lot of sense to me.
Week 6 wrapped up. Let's turn the page to week 7 before we do. Quick shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. Right now, they have an awesome offer going down. You click the link down below, you download the app, you make an account, boom. That's all you need to do to get a free $20 entry. You can check out Sleeper right there and then with a free $20 entry, no deposit necessary. Link below, click it, create an account. You're ready to go. We've told you 1,000 times, but we can't stop bragging about it. Brandon and I, we got the $20 free play. We put it to use. We balled out. We cashed in out in LA. You can do the same with a free $20 entry over at Sleeper. And if you want to get in even further on the action, use the promo code RTS and you'll get a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper terms of use for details. Currently available in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper via the link in the description below. I feel like we are being treated to nonstop electric slates in this division, and this coming week is no different, and it's spread all across the board. We are going to be tuned in to the NFC West this upcoming week from the crack of dawn on Sunday morning all the way to the wee hours of Monday night. So let's dive into it. Let's head on over the pond where LA is taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Usually we are treated to some of the worst football you could possibly imagine over there. And Sunday morning last week, fellas, was no different. That is one of the worst football games I have ever seen in my life. The Denver Broncos somehow almost lost to a Jets team that had minus 10 passing yards. They were this close to dropping it. That one finished 13-11. Hopefully we are treated to a better game this time around as the Rams take on the Jags. Both teams 4-2. Big game for both these teams in terms of the seeding. I know it's crazy to think about, but we're already nearing that halfway point, and these games are pivotal. So, Brandon, I'll start with you. We're waking up early. Man, it's even earlier for you guys out on the West Coast, 6:30 a.m. start here. So what are your thoughts on this one, Rams-Jags?
Yeah. Well, first, give me a 4 box here really quickly. Z-Bot says we gotta make an acknowledgement here. Can I get a little golf clap from the crew here on the best division in all of football once again? Perennially. Yes.
In fact, look at that. Yep.
Oh yeah, come on, Jesse. Let's go. Come on, get those hands clapping. This is gonna be a fun game.
Sorry, my right hand had a fork in it for the Cardinals. It's getting ready, man.
The way your Niners get injured,
it's
I'm not
fork
surprised.
season already, Jesse.
It might be fork season already.
Oh my god.
This is gonna be a good game. I think this. What'd you say, Mike?
I said it just might be. So I don't know.
Maybe you guys will trade for Brock Purdy at the deadline.
No, hell no.
Oh god.
By the way, the QB hierarchy in this division continues to get longer and longer and weirder. By the way,
upgrade.
Go ahead, Brian. Sorry.
Anyway, across the pond, Brando.
Yeah, so I think that this is a tough game for the Rams. To be able to have to travel all that far from LA. I hate being on the far West Coast with us. We already have to travel so much. First, you East Coasters like your Bills, you guys don't have to deal with anything close to this, and it's a significant amount of travel, especially when you're talking about mid-season. Your body's already tired, long flight. You got a Jacksonville team who's going to be able to go a little shorter. They're going to be a little bit hungrier, I think, coming off this loss, and I think that you're going to see the key on this one being if the Rams can go out here and generate the kind of quick pressure that the Seahawks were able to, because though it was a high volume amount of pressures the Hawks came away with last week against that Jacksonville team, it's a Jacksonville team that tries to get the ball out of its hand quick. And so you've got to get to them fast from a pressure-based standpoint. And we know the Rams have the ability to do that, but I do feel like, and again, watching Trevor, I feel like he's slowly coming a little bit more forward as a player, that he is slowly improving. Doesn't mean he's not without still some moments that make you scratch your head. But boy, he was really doing his best last week. And I think that this is a dangerous game for the Rams, especially without Puka. I don't think we can undersell that loss. I don't think that you just naturally transition now to Devontae and you don't miss a beat. We saw last year that Stafford had a hard time being as productive as he normally can be once you saw him removed from some of his top end receivers there. He was able to still get Whittingham going. He's still able to get here and there Tutu going, but it was a little bit of a struggle. So this is one where I'm actually going to be drawn to think I'm going to go with my upset here. I think that it's going to be the fact they've got to do that long travel that's enough to upend this. I'm going to go 24-21 Jacksonville in this game.
Can I say something real quick? I want to see if it changes your mind. The Rams are not going back to LA. They're actually at Camden Yards in Baltimore.
I'm not convinced that that's always the best strategy with the be a week away from your family and then be a second week away from your family, and that's easier for you. I mean, you're right in that it's good on the trip, but there's another price to be paid on that. That's maybe not the mileage that on the body, but on the how well you sleep in a foreign place day after day after day for 2 weeks. Now we're going out to Europe and sleep out here. It's not like I think it's going to be the big push factor here, and I could easily see your Rams taking this one, Jake. It's not one that I feel ultimately a ton of confidence in. It's just one that I think as well, with the fact that they put so much onus on getting the ball out of the hands of the quarterback, Etienne, and them in the running game can provide enough of an element to keep you honest defensively on that side. And then Stafford, once you remove down, not having this guy that he has used so heartily here, it's just, I don't know if the pivot is just as easy as, no, Devontae now gets the 15 targets and here we go. I don't know if Devontae right now is the same Devontae. You talked about the drops last week. I mean, I think he's still really good. Weird. I don't think he's a bad player. So I think he's still very good, but what is he of prime Devontae right now? Jake, is he 90?
He looks exactly like he did. It's just been the drops. Like he's dominating guys off the line of scrimmage. I mean, the rocker step, like he's just keeping guys, completely off balance. That's why it's so weird. He hasn't had these catch issues since I think 2015. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. Sean McVay
that's where age can add
2-0.
up to you in a variety of ways, right? So it can
Sean
add up to you.
McVay is 2-0 in London, by the way, outscoring teams 57-10.
There we go. Who were the opponents he played in those two games?
33-zip.
Who did he play in those
so
games?
long ago.
Yeah.
I think we know who Jay's picking.
Well, Brandon will not be dissuaded. He is rolling with the Jags in
I'm
this
messing
one.
with you, Brandon. I just wanted to let him know about the Ravens thing so he knew, because I liked
it's a
your
good point.
but
Yeah,
you know, I wanted to make sure you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Well, I think that them going that week
got you.
out though shows that they know that there's an impact on that trying to fly out there, and that's you kind of already trying to get ahead of something, which it may work, it may not, but
see, I was giving you credit.
Well, Mike, what do you make of this? Practicing at old Camden Yard? I think I read somewhere this is the first non-baseball event there in like a couple of decades. So maybe they get a little good juju there or something. What do you think happens here? Rams, Jacksonville.
I mean, I think it's smart to obviously try to accommodate to the time zone, because the time difference is going to be it's a killer, man. Some people say it's not, but it is. It can really mess up your body clock. And I feel like the Jaguars are always on freaking London time. Like, they're always there. Like, I don't know what it is. They at least have like 2 or 3 primetime games there every freaking year. So it's really weird. Honestly, I was leaning towards the Rams, but like I was very disappointed in how you guys looked with no Puka Nacua and against this Ravens team. Like, and I know it's probably buying into the whole what CJ Stroud did and the other quarterbacks did against this defense, but I was really disappointed in Stafford. I thought he was going to put up some crazy numbers and prove that, hey, you know, we are that team that's going to take the next step, especially when you lose against the San Francisco 49ers the week before on a injury like riddled team. So like I was really hoping that you were to bounce back up. Now I feel like the only real way you're going to be able to win this game is time of possession on your side and Kyron Williams taking over the game, but like you just never do it. Like, it's just for some reason Kyron Williams is averaging like 13 like 10 yards or like carries a game. Like, it's just, I don't get Sean McVay. I really don't. Like, he's a really good running back and they just don't utilize him. They really want Matthew Stafford to be that guy, and he can be with Puka Nacua, but like when Puka Nacua went down, looking at the numbers, and I'm not impressed, man. I really do like the Jacksonville Jaguars team, and I know they kind of disappointed me last week as I picked them to beat the Seattle Seahawks, but with ETN and now, you know, Brian Thomas Jr. now kind of getting his, his feet wet and starting to kind of be that guy he was in his rookie year, I'm going to lean back to the Jaguars here. I do think that they are going to be a team that can very well beat the Rams. I say this game is going to be 28-23. I got the Jacksonville Jaguars winning this game.
2 for 2 on the Jags. Jesse, you willing to make it a hat trick here?
Gosh, I've really been back and forth on this game. I could see either team winning. I do like Jacksonville overall. I think they've got a talented team. I don't like that Puka's not playing. I don't like that Witherspoon's not playing. It's a lot. But because I am back and forth, and I also can't erase playing the Jags a couple weeks ago. I know that the Jags beat us and we beat the Rams and, you know, all of that. But the Jags team is extremely boneheaded. They get dumb penalties all the time. Trevor Lawrence and Cohn still can't get out of a huddle with efficiency on a regular basis. It's the weirdest thing to watch, and it seems to happen at the worst times. Their offensive line was exploited a little bit last week, or a lot of it, I should say, against Seattle, and I think the Rams can do a lot of those same things. And ultimately, I'm just going to have to go with the quarterback that I trust more if the game is tight, and I think it will be. So that's Matthew Stafford. So I'm going to go 23-20 Rams.
All right, Jesse's on the Rams side. Got a feeling I know where Jake's going, but talk me through it. What goes down in the morning on Sunday?
Hey, now, let's not forget, I'm the expert here when it comes to the Jacksonville
You're
Jaguars.
damn right.
All right, they're 4-2, and I'm 6-0, picking the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I thought that they were going to be a good team. I like the Jacksonville Jaguars. That hasn't changed. What has changed is Devin Lloyd, who is a superstar this year, leading the league in interceptions, second in PFF grade for linebacker, third in blitz pressures. He's out. They've already ruled him out for Sunday. I think that's significant. Ventrell Miller played well against Seattle, but he's not Devin Lloyd. Then you had no pressure. And I don't think like Seattle has a bad offensive line, but their offensive line isn't like special. And Josh Hines-Allen, absolute star, no pressure from him whatsoever. Trayvon Walker, you know, I didn't really like what I saw on film with Jacksonville against Seattle. And then you go to the offensive line and you see Walker Little give up, 4 sacks this past week? Jacksonville gave up 7. Robert Hainsey is so key and critical to this team. If he doesn't play, and he's right now limited, so we'll see if he plays or not. Jonah Monheim, the 7th round, he is not ready for this. He's just not ready for this at all. He really struggled. So that's kind of where I stand. The offensive line struggling. They're giving up tons through the air. I just saw that touchdown Jackson Smith and Jigba had, and I was just like, yeah, Tutu Atwell is going to catch a bomb in this game. It's going to happen. I also, as you guys know, I've been very honest about this. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is good. I just don't. I think he's a guy with a huge name, and people haven't quite, separated him from Clemson. But I think the Rams are going to put so much pressure on him. He's going to make mistakes in this game. He's going to turn the ball over. Jesse mentioned, the penalties. The Rams are the second fewest penalized team. They're very disciplined, whereas the Jaguars are one of the most penalized teams. Like you said, the boneheaded stuff. And I just feel like Sean McVay knows Liam Cohen so well. That was his offensive coordinator. So it's going to be a close game. It's London. It could get ugly. It's also 9:30 a.m. on the East Coast. Obnoxious. Absolutely obnoxious. But Jags have forced 14 turnovers, most of the NFL. The Rams have forced 10. They probably would have forced 14 if they didn't all get called back. So where we're at on this one is that the Rams are going to have to score in the red zone and stop kicking field goals. And I believe they're going to do that. So give me the Rams in this one. I'm going to say it's really close. I'm going to go 28-22 Rams.
We move from the wee hours of the morning into the late afternoon where the Green Bay Packers are on the road to take on the Arizona Cardinals. And look, these Green Bay Packers, it's interesting. I mean, they let that really rough Cincinnati Bengals team led by Joe Flacco, who was in the building for 24 hours, really hang around in that game. Now, just an awfully interesting season where they started off looking like they were the best team in the league, and they've kind of cooled off a bit despite being 3-1-1. The Cardinals look to bounce back off of that loss to the Colts. Jake, I'll kick it right back to you here. How do you see this one going down between the Packers and the Cardinals?
Kind of unfair. The Cardinals come off such an impressive loss, probably one of the better losses of the year that you could have. I thought Jacoby Brissett showed out. I really don't like the Packers as much as everyone else. Their offense doesn't impress me. So I'm going to go with the upset here. I think Arizona wins this game. I think Arizona's going to win this game. Yes, I do.
With Jacoby or Kyler?
Jacoby. I think Jacoby's going to start.
Thank you. Okay.
I think Jacoby's the better quarterback right now. Kyler, everything Brandon said at the beginning of the year, it took me a little bit to get on that side. I got on it last week, and everything that I saw with Jacoby, I don't see with Kyler. And I think it led to me to believe, and I'm not trying to give Drew Petzing a pass here because I still don't think he's a great offensive coordinator.
Agree.
But I am going to say Kyler is not your franchise quarterback. He's never going to lead you to the promised land, and you are not winning a Super Bowl so long as Kyler Murray is your starting quarterback. So you're not with Jacoby Brissett either, but Jacoby Brissett is one of the better backups in football. He always has been. He's always played well. He can manage a game, but if you need him to, go deep down the field, he can throw those footballs. And in addition to that, he can also run. And I'm not saying he's Michael Vick running the football, but he's got enough mobility. And I really liked, what we saw from Zonovan Bam Knight as well. So I think they might have found kind of the secret sauce there to stay in games. And then at that point, they have talent where they can steal one. And look, the Packers, they've failed to put teams away. I mean, the Bengals are not a good football team. They hung around. The Browns, they lost to. I don't think the Lions are that good, so that win against the Lions I don't think is that big of a deal. The Packers are not that great. They're a team that I think has some big-time players. And I think when Jordan Love is in his bag, he looks like one of the more accurate quarterbacks in football. You have Micah Parsons. I get that. Rashawn Gary. Awesome. But this Packers team, you can score, and you can stick in the game, and they haven't really been scoring themselves. So, yeah, give me the Cardinals. I'm going to say, since all their games seem to be ugly, the Packers I'm talking about, I'm going to say 17-13 Cardinals.
Ooh, Jake with the upset in an ugly one against the Packers. Brandon, what do you think here between Green Bay and Arizona?
Yeah, I think Jake's got some great thoughts in regards to this, especially when it comes to me being right, when it comes to Kyler Murray. But I think as well, there's going to be a really great discussion for us when we get in the offseason with seeing the Mac Jones experience going down in the Niners and Brissett and what he's doing with the Cardinals here, and just having good quarterback discussion about what really drives success, what you should look for, when you should pay, when you shouldn't pay. And then when you pay, the problematic issue that creates, and then the impetus to try to then have to play that guy regardless of whether that's the right way to go or not. But that has nothing to do with this discussion. I do think that this is a Packer team that just seems to not really be able to really lock it in. Maybe they get to their best form a little bit like us, where they show you this different kind of one week to the other view of who they are, and then it all gets good down the home stretch and they suddenly look into the team that we thought they could be. But right now they're just not playing with enough consistency to me towards either side of the ball, and they're not putting teams away. I think this is a game that is going to be close. I think 28-24, as much because Jacoby's going to be able to execute enough of this offense. I think the Packers do get up ahead in this one, and then the Cardinals are able to kind of bring something a little bit back forward as Packers can't put teams away. But I think as well, the Packers aren't able to run the ball this year as much as they were last year. It seems like with Josh Jacobs, I don't know if he's hit that Christian McCaffrey wall. Saquon might be hitting the same thing here a little bit on his side. It's kind of weird when these guys, when it goes quick. I'll tell you what, but 3.7 yards per carry this year. So if they can stop the run, turn them one-dimensional, and then make Jordan get off the first read, the Cardinals got a chance in this one. I'm just not so sure I can quite get to the point of confidence that they can do all that.
What about you, Jesse? Where's your confidence level at in this game, and on which side is it at?
Yeah, I definitely think that we got a little ahead of ourselves with the Packers early on, or a lot of people did. But the Cardinals are just not impressive to me at all. I can't unsee that 49ers game, and I just don't know that they can manufacture points the way that they need to be able to. And so I think the Packers defense is good enough to hold them down. I do think that it is relatively close, but give me the Packers 23-17.
Mike, 4 straight L's for the Cardinals, and man, they've been close in every single one of them. Do they turn it around this upcoming Sunday afternoon?
I mean, I think what the Cardinals need to do is something very similar to what they did with the Colts. I mean, you're going to have to score points. I mean, I don't think I like this defense that we have, but it's so tough, man. I really want to pick the Cardinals, but I don't think we're going to get blown out. We still toe-to-toe with the Colts, but I do think that the Green Bay Packers are going to win this game. It's going to be another heartbreak. I don't know who's going to be the quarterback. I think it's leaning towards Jacoby right now because of Ian Rapoport's report saying that there was frank injury from Kyler Murray's foot. So he might miss another week, which is this week right here. So he might come back here on Monday night, which is after our bye week in week 9. So I want to pick the Cardinals so darn bad, but I got to lean over to what I've seen already. It's just the Cardinals aren't able to close out games either. So I would say 23-20 Cardinals lose.
Mike, I heard he got a extra injury to Kyler. Brissett-itis.
Whoa.
It's extending out the injury as prognosis. Same thing with the Niners. It's happened in Niners too. It's called Joe-nitis out there with San Francisco.
I had that once, and it doesn't feel good.
It
just keeps the injury of your number one quarterback continuing down the line, and you just without a TBD date, you don't know when they're coming back. Could be this
week.
What's
that contract look like?
Never, maybe not the whole year. Maybe out the whole year.
I mean, it's very unknown right now. I don't know exactly where it's going to land. I have a little bit more confidence in Jacoby with the small sample size that I've seen, but honestly, I just want to win at the end of the day. I just freaking
hold on, Mike.
I hate
if
this
Jacoby
contract.
If Jacoby comes back and throws for 300 and he beats that team this week, Kyler's healthy then next week, or you even play the Packers close, and he puts up another good performance. Do you think that contract's going to carry at that point, a point to then drive Kyler back onto the field at that spot?
If it wasn't Bidwell, we just have such a cheap owner that I don't know if they have the cojones to do something like that. Ideally, I would love the Arizona Cardinals to potentially really look at the future and potentially unload him or try to trade him off somewhere else. I know it's kind of hard with the contract, but honestly, I think you got to kind of cut your ties, to be real with you. But I don't think the Cardinals.
Because Bidwell's trying to reclimate it for not just past this year at that point, if he's bringing him back in with that being the onus. He's not just trying to then, that's him trying to make it happen beyond this season.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, because I'm looking at the contract right now, they're just trying to do what's best for their books and not what's best for winning football.
Exactly.
And that's inexcusable, in my opinion.
100%.
$100 million in dead cap this year, right? You're not going to cut him this year. You're not going to trade him this year. So next year would be $57.7 million. After that, 7.2. If they're actually going to wait another year, rip the Band-Aid off right after this season. I mean, it would be such malpractice for this fan base to have to sit there and have to wait knowing that he's not the future.
Yeah.
And I've been saying this for a while. As soon as you realize a quarterback can't win you a Super Bowl, as soon as you realize a quarterback isn't going to be a top quarterback, you should move on. You should. Mm-hmm. There's no reason. Like, look at what Sam Darnold's doing in Seattle. Right now, they could win a Super Bowl with Sam Darnold. Look at what Mac Jones is doing with San Francisco. If Mac Jones had more supporting cast around him in San Francisco, they could win a Super Bowl with the way he's playing right now. Okay. Kyler Murray is the problem right now in Arizona. And there are other issues, but he's the biggest issue. Jacoby Brissett can't just come into, the offense and just look like that against a really good Colts team in a place where, like I said, they don't lose.
Yeah.
They dominate teams at Lucas Oil, and that game was close. So, I mean, honestly, you guys probably should have won the game.
I agree.
I don't think a lot of people realize that. They'll look at the box score afterwards. They'll be like, oh, yeah, it was a close game. Yeah, they played tough. No. They had to go down the field and score a game-winning touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, they held Jonathan Taylor out of the end zone until the end of the game. No one's done that this year. So I look at this contract and I'm like, I don't know who the future is for Arizona. I don't have those answers, but I know Kyler is not the future. And guess what? If he's dealing with foot issues, that's not good. So on top of him not being, a guy that you can really count on anymore right now, on top of that, now he's showing these injuries, and it's only going to go downhill from here.
I agree.
Dun, 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 dun. We moved to Sunday Night Football live from San Francisco as the Niners look to get back on track, taking on an Atlanta Falcons team that made my Buffalo Bills look like a Pop Warner squad on Monday Night Football. It's the 3-2 Falcons, the 4-2 San Francisco 49ers in prime time. Mike, I'll start with you here. Woo! Damn. You know what I love about that, by the way? So underrated. The perfect segue. They always, every single time, perfect segue from Carrie Underwood into that beat. Like it's just a relay. And it's just every time you got a good matchup coming when you hear it. We got a good matchup Sunday night. Falcons, Niners. Mike, talk to me.
Oh, so I would have picked Niners, but damn, man, I was very impressed with what they did to your Bills. I'm sorry, they just dismantled the Bills. Like, they made Josh Allen look silly out there. Like, there is a real way to win games when you got a real dynamic running back in Bijan Robinson back there. This guy is dynamic. Now they got weapons. They got Pitts, they got London, they got players, and their defense showed out pretty darn well. Now I'm not sure if they exposed the lack of wide receivers or just the inability of your guys' defense. I'm talking about the Bills. Like, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I have a lot more confidence in the Falcons after seeing that game. Now, is it going to translate here onto Sunday Night Football? I think it will. I absolutely think it absolutely will. Now, Mac Jones, a great story, and everything else that's happened to the 49ers, but this is not going to be an easy win for you guys anymore. The Falcons are, I'm not going to say legit, I'm not going to say Super Bowl or even a division, but they're going to be a tough out. I'm going to say the Falcons end up actually beating the San Francisco 49ers here 23-17. I just think that Robinson is just that damn dynamic, and he can go ahead and take over a game in a heartbeat. So I got the Falcons on this one.
Mike has the Falcons really starting to ascend here and cement themselves really in the thick of things here in the NFC. How about yourself, Brandon? Sunday Night Football, Falcons, Niners.
Yeah, I think it's Jake or Jesse's related to my Seahawks as sometimes being the roach of this division that you just can't stamp out. I feel like the Niners have become the zombies of this division, where it's they lose an arm and they're still coming at you, eating your brains. Half their face melts off and they're still coming at you. Oh, there goes the skin. We've got nothing but just a fleshy remains. And yet here they still come, still managing to find wins. But it does feel like this Fred Warner was one where you finally have reached what is the breaking point? This has got to be it. There may be no more important player on the San Francisco team, period, than Fred Warner to the rest. And they don't have a guy in Tatum Bethune who came out of college weighing, is out of college, 210 pounds, will be their middle linebacker, I believe, this next week. This is just going to be too light in the pants as far as the 49ers. This isn't really about matchup based or whatnot. The Niners have been very good at stopping the run this year. I think they will be in this one, but I think the Falcons can get by on just merely passing if they have to in this one. And the Niners just won't have enough to really deal with that. So I'm going to give Falcons the nod on this one pretty comfortably. I'm going to go 27-17. I think Brock 27-21. I think Brock's going to get him, Mac's going to get a couple of touchdowns in this one, but I just don't like the combination. Brock's going to start? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Brock's starting?
Yeah, I think he's going to be.
All right. Well, I'm going to go 27-14 then. I think this would be better for Mac.
Yeah. Let me change my prediction.
But
Kittle should be back. Pearsall should be back, and Brock should be back.
Okay. Well, you guys get a couple of touchdowns, then maybe a field goal like 17 points. But I think that you're not going to have anything defensively to really hold them down. And again, the pass rush of the Falcons can get there quick enough with some of the pass protection that's there with Niners at times. It kind of comes and goes where it can be good in some games. It seems like other games can't quite hold up. They're going to be able to challenge you in that way. And they're kind of rolling right now, whereas the Niners, I just think that's going to be, if anything, kind of a spiritual blow, Jesse, to your team this week, losing a guy like Fred Warner. I mean, that guy just, he's so awesome. Just to lose that. But hey, I mean, maybe I shouldn't be counting him out too, because you guys have seemingly found an answer every single time one of these things has popped up.
Jake, what do you make of this big NFC showdown on Sunday night?
Well, I thought I had all the answers, and then I found out Brock is going to start.
It's not official, but I would be shocked if he doesn't play this week.
All right, so I'm going to do a rare thing here, okay? I am going to have this, what is it, conditional? There we go. Conditional prediction, okay? So 2 predictions here. If one thing happens, whatever. So Atlanta has technically the best pass defense in the league. I believe that Mac Jones will still beat them. I was going to go with the 49ers. I'm going to go with the 49ers and Mac Jones plays. The reason being, the Falcons are not good on the road. They got blown out by Carolina 30-0. Their only road win was against the Vikings with J.J. McCarthy, who isn't good at all. So, hate to break it to you, but that wasn't really that impressive of a win. I don't think the Falcons are that legit. I mean, I know Z-Bot is going to say it too. The Bills can't stop a nosebleed. Passing, rushing, they can't score. I don't know what to make of the Bills.
They're not good. That's what to make of them.
Yeah, they're just not that good. So that was their marquee win. And then Washington, who I also don't think is that good. I don't know. So I'm going to go with the 49ers. If Mac Jones plays, I'm going to say they win 23-13. And if Brock Purdy plays, screw it. I'm still going to go with the 49ers because I just don't think the Falcons are good on the road at all. If Brock Purdy plays, give me 23-20.
23-20. Listen, Jesse, injuries be damned. The Niners win this game. They're 5-2. So what do you think goes down on Sunday night?
Yeah, I'm glad that Jake said it because that's exactly right. I mean, this is the same team that got smacked and got their quarterback benched against a Carolina Panther team on the road just a few short weeks ago. So I don't think that this Falcons team is some juggernaut that can't be beat. They've got a really banged up offensive line as well. Like 4 of their 5 starters potentially may not play. I think this is a very evenly contested game. I think that the 49ers get it done. I do. I think that they will win this game, and the schedule doesn't get easier after this, but I don't think the Falcons are this great team that's unbeatable. So give me the 49ers to win this game. Let's go 27-23 Niners.
Jesse, you brought something up. Jake, you did as well. You guys, do you mind reminding me what it was on the road? Carolina Panthers. What was the score of that game again?
30-0.
Oh, okay.
This team lost to the Carolina Panthers 30-0.
Yeah, that was me last night. So I just figured you guys just remind me because I forgot there for a second. But
Zeba is on another level because he has to do all this prep for all the roundtables that he hosts. And then he goes on his Bill show and he's like, I know everything about every team at this point, so I'm freaking pissed.
Yeah, didn't take Nostradamus to know that Bijan Robinson was going to look like prime Jim Brown in that game. That's exactly what wound up going down. So
he looked like Todd Gurley when he's the best offensive player in the league. Yeah, it's just crazy.
It was unbelievable. Well, we are all over the board here. Like I mentioned, let's move to Monday night in a rare 10 p.m. slot. Dun, 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 dun. Monday night football.
Someone needs to be fined.
I know these doubleheaders are ridiculous. I will say, though, I do enjoy when they are at different times as opposed to last night, because even though you're up late, you can watch them both because, I mean, that Bears game was great, and I didn't get to watch most of it last night. So we'll be tuned in for this one late. It's the Houston Texans taking on the Seattle Seahawks under the lights in Seattle. Mike, what are you making of this one, Houston, Seattle?
I was so high on Houston. I really was in the beginning. And I counted the Seahawks out multiple times, and that's even dating back till last year. And I always get proven wrong. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks on this one. I just think that they got a lot of things going on for them right now. And they got JSN, which is great. And their tight end is doing a really good job too. Is it Barner? Right? That's who it is. Yeah, they're doing a really good job with it. So I'm going to lean on the Seahawks here. I'm going to say 31-21 Seahawks.
Seahawks take it according to Mike. How about you, Jake?
Brandon, do you have any sound effects like the burr, 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 like, you know?
Like which one?
Like it's like the
air horn.
Yeah, the air horn.
Oh.
I don't. I've got like kind of like this.
Okay.
Even better.
There's going to be an NFC West sweep. That's right. The 49ers, the Cardinals, the Rams, and I'm taking the Seahawks on, I can't believe, 10 p.m. What are we doing? Monday Night Football. They're going to win. I don't know if this game is going to be close. I don't. Houston is having a hard time winning. I'm going to take Seattle 27-10.
Ooh, we're not even going to be treated to a show on Monday night. Well, Brandon will be.
You don't
but the
need to
rest of
stay
us.
up unless you're Brandon.
All righty. Well, Brandon gets to watch it nice and early
Game's
over
over
on the West Coast. So luckily for you, this one could be over before the sun even sets, according to Jake. Jesse, according to you, what goes down Monday night?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good game. The Texans are coming off of a bye, though, and I think that the bye came at a really good time for them. They're going to get some guys back. The offensive line started playing better before the bye week. It's not special by any means, and I definitely think Seattle can exploit it. I've got to ask you some questions, though, Brandon. You guys had a lot of injuries last week on defense. Who's in and who's out? I do need to know that.
It's still quite hard to say on Witherspoon if he's going to be back in or not. I would say probably a good chance you're going to get Love back for this one at the safety position at least. DeMarcus Lawrence returned last week and was very effective for us. So that was the big boon there, is you lost Hall and you were already down DeMarcus Lawrence in that Tampa Bay game, which took you down to basically two edges at that point. So him coming back has been really nice. Outside of that, though, you don't have any other real major injuries across the board. Absent that, everybody else is there on the defensive line. It was really just down to that in the secondary a little bit. But Woolen, I would guess, is going to come back because that was a concussion and he's had the extra week at this point. So usually when it's not the first short week, okay, you don't come back, it's to week 2. Usually, unless it's a very serious concussion, he's probably going to be back by that point.
No, well, that might lose you the game in itself. Well, listen, okay.
So well played.
Very, very good defense there with the Texans as well. I think this is going to be a fun matchup. I'm going to go with the Texans upset, though. I'm going to go 24-23 Texans.
Wow. Upset alert in Seattle. Brandon, I know you don't want to hear anything of it. I mean, talk to me here. 5-2 is on the line. You getting to it on Monday night?
Well, Z-Bot, I'm going to have a hard time being unbiased on this one. I hate going into wish predictions, but I feel like I'm wishing this prediction like the Sydney Sweeney's greatest stalker. I want this that bad. So I need
that bad.
Bad. I want this win because you go get this win. Now you go into the bye at 5-2. You're not only going to the bye at 5-2, you're setting the stage to be able to go out there and get a little bit dangerous at the trade deadline with all that money you got sitting in your hip pocket. Maybe go make a move that can really go out there and make a difference on this team, but it's got to be pushed upon that confidence. So I'm not going to lie on this one. I'm definitely pushed by wanting this as much as actually seeing it. I think the Texans are having a pretty tough difficulty on this one, having to come out to the West Coast and start a game that's going to be 9:00 p.m. on their body clock when that clock begins. That's just when it starts. Now, it's going to be hard for us too. It'd be a little bit later, but I think it's going to be even tougher for a team like the Texans on that. And I think this matchup really comes down to me on that offensive line for the Texans and how porous it was on paper. And I think how porous it's been. They get around it by getting the ball out of CJ Stroud's hand. But look at all the pressures generated last week by the Hawks defense when they actually had their guys out there that could be ready to rock. I think you're going to do more of the same, being able to play at home, getting after that offensive line of the Texans and keeping CJ Stroud under a lot of pressure while at the same time being able to limit the running game, which the Texans have been able to lean upon a little bit to maintain balance this year to kind of take some of the pressure off CJ. Defensively, they're the truth. They can get after it. They can get pressure, but I think you've shown offensively enough that you're capable week in and week out to at least put up the 20 points on the board. And I think the defense keeps things down to their side. So I'm going to go 21-17 Seattle Seahawks.
There you have it. The week 7 predictions are locked in. We're at an hour 18. It's time for the best part of the show. It's time for some super chats. Brandon, cue me in if you'd be so kind. Please
Where's my thing?
Drum
There we
roll.
go.
That is a
That's fun.
Brando original, by the way. Don't be fooled. That isn't Warner Brothers Studios right there. That is being done in the top left corner. That is some high level quality stuff. Megan kicks us off. Megan, good to see you as always. Megan says, here's $20 so I can make fun of everyone on the panel. Yes, including you, Z-Bot, who isn't named Brandon or maybe Jake. Loving the fact that I have Rico and JSN in fantasy. Loving the 50+ points with that win that I had this week with them too. Yeah. Easy to get it done when you got that combo right there. Megan, we appreciate it. So apparently all it takes, fellas, is $20 to have carte blanche on just ripping on us. And Megan set the bar. The next highest bidder will take 2001, right? And then we'll go from there. Megan, we appreciate you as always. Thanks a ton. Dylan coming in. It's time to admit that the Seahawks are the best team in the division. We are one Tariq Woolen play and one fluky ass interception away from being 5-1 or 6-0. We also have the best defense and the best wide receiver. Whoa.
That's it.
Sounds like the Rams and Seahawks are similar because the Rams are a blocked field goal and a fumble at the goal line away from being 6-0. So, I mean, and who has the better defense? I think they're both very similar. And Puka, I think, is the better receiver, but I love JSN. I think he might be number 2 for me, honestly. So, yeah, I don't know.
Well, unfortunately, fellas, this isn't the professional horseshoe league, and the closeness of those games doesn't count. But Dylan doesn't matter. He doesn't care. Dylan doesn't care. He said, listen, we're a couple plays away from being undefeated. And I know Mike wishes he had a couple of plays back, because Mike is a couple of plays away from maybe being undefeated. That's how crazy this division is.
The same thing, 100%.
Damn right you could. Believe me, it's a nutty league. And
You're going to get it back this week, Mike. Don't worry.
And I saw a comment later that's going to put that to the test. I saw someone calling out the NFC West maybe not being the best in football. We'll get to that in a second. Brian coming in. He's saying the Rams, they're the best team in football. To hell with the Seahawks. He doesn't want anything to do with that. It's all Rams for Brian.
I mean, I have no issue with it.
I know you. Well, come on, Jake. I thought you were going to argue against me there, dude. I was giving you the stage. I was kind of giving a pause. I was going to wait to argue with me.
I have them at 3. I have the Colts at 1. And I have the Bucks at 2. And yes, I know people are going to be like, oh, well, the Rams beat the Colts. I know. It's a power ranking. It's not a head-to-head. People get way too caught up in that. It's what are you on October 14th? Who are you right now? I believe the Colts right now are the best team currently.
Well, Brian thought a couple of Thursdays ago that Brandon was on fire when he saw him in LA. You're damn right he was, man. And he's going to be like, oh, listen, we get a W. We get a W out of these Seahawks Monday night. We get a little bit closer to seeing that Brandon again. I think we get a little bit closer. You know, we get into the playoffs here, Brandon. I'm expecting you've already set the bar incredibly high. So we continue to chip away, maybe win this division. Man. You know,
he'll drink when it comes down to like week 18 and they need a win and Sam Darnold shits the bed.
You keep waiting on that shitting of the bed, Arnold. You'd be waiting, shitting one hand, waiting the other. We'll see which one happens.
There was some conviction behind that, Brandon. Jesse said that with a little conviction.
No, I know what it is. He's already been down this road where he couldn't make the piece when I was on the case of Gino. Now I'm doing it again with Sam.
Well, and he's hard-headed. Gino,
there's a case here. There's a case here.
Everything I said right. Gino's literally doing exactly what I said he was. Gino's literally exactly who I said he was. He's buns.
Yeah,
he's been buns. He's always been buns.
Quarterback on the Raiders here in the last 35 years of your life.
Nobody's
going to do good in that environment.
Pretty mid, man.
Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick. Yes, he's catching
the argument wasn't made. Wait, hold on, though. The argument wasn't made about how Gino was going to be with the Raiders. My argument prior to that was how he was with the Seahawks and how he was playing.
And it wasn't very good when they needed him to be at his best, which was throwing interceptions in the red zone and shitting down his leg every time he played the 49ers. So,
baby, this is NFC West Roundtable right there.
Hey, whoa, Jesse.
You keep holding on to the Sam Darnold take, dude. You keep holding on to it because you're going to just look more foolish down the road with every success week that you
every regular season win. I'm sure we feel great about it.
Didn't Gino have a game-winning touchdown against the 49ers last year?
The moment that Bosa went out, all of a sudden he got confidence. It was crazy.
Hey, he's still at it.
Excuses, moving goalposts, changing the nature of the combo.
I'm going to give Seattle credit. They did what a lot of teams refuse to do.
They
Russell
loved him so
Wilson-
much that they replaced him with Sam Darnold. That was
Russell
great. Go ahead.
Wilson. Hey,
It's
he's
not
not
about-
going to
oh,
cut
we got
it.
an upgrade.
Everybody's
We went
going to
for an
laugh at
upgrade.
us. Everyone's going to laugh at us. We're getting rid of Russell Wilson. Okay. Oh, Geno Smith's going to be our quarterback. Everyone's like, Geno Smith? And they're laughing at the Seahawks. Seahawks knew what they were doing. Geno is clearly better than Russell Wilson. And then they were willing to get off Geno Smith when I actually thought it was kind of a bad decision. They went out and they got Sam Darnold, and people were like, well, that's just Kevin O'Connell. That's just the Vikings. That's just Justin Jefferson. And now here he is. And you could argue, I mean, he's very much in the MVP race right now. So I think Seattle just might be good at this thing, honestly.
We've gained
listen, I think
thousands
it
of
was the
new
right
subs,
decision.
fellas, by the way, over the last year. There are so many people watching this that have no clue of the lore that is the constant near fisticuffs that Geno Smith brought to this
Geno
roundtable on a weekly basis. I mean, it warms my heart to really kind of go back and think about it. And I just would always sit and watch. It was my favorite. I mean, you guys would just go at it, and I just love it. And to this day, Brandon, even though Darnold's balling and Geno's gone, and he is blowing it up in Las Vegas. And this is why I love you. You are still going tooth and nail defending him on the Seahawks. I love it.
I'm defending him because I think it's easy to paint portraits in simplicity in the NFL, and the NFL is rarely simplistic in the approach.
Mm-hmm.
And the old argument was with this for years that we were making, or the year last year we're making on this, which was that he was a top 10 quarterback and how he was playing for my Seahawks. He may not be playing like that for the Raiders, but he was playing like that for my Hawks through most of his 3 years here. And I think Jake makes a great point on this. John
Jimmy
Schneider,
G
the
did
general
that once
manager,
upon a time,
has
too.
what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Jake absolutely makes the great point where the general manager has gotten this 100% right when the general narrative, the national narrative, the local narrative was that these were catastrophe type moves to pivot from a Russell to a Geno, to pivot from a Geno to a Sam. But he's been on the right end of it because he seems to have pretty good eyes for quarterback play. And oh, by the way, it was the same guy that made Russell Wilson a 3rd round pick back in the day when nobody else in the NFL was willing to take a swing at him and make him a starter with that.
And on top of it, how about the same guy who ships off DK Metcalf, drafts JSN, and all of a sudden, look how that's going. I mean, so things are looking up right now in Seattle. I can't lie. It's pretty impressive. So we'll see, though. Jesse thinks much like last year with the Vikings, as soon as it comes down to when it counts the most, Jesse's waiting on Darnold to crap. But Brandon,
so when he wins it.
I called it week one. I called it week one, and that's exactly what happened.
If he wins a playoff game and he performs well in a playoff game, then your opinion would change.
I'll give him his credit.
But that's the one thing.
He doesn't have to win. He doesn't have to win. No, he doesn't have to win. He doesn't have to win. He just has to perform well when the games matter.
Yeah, that's fair because in that title game for the NFC North, he was abysmal last year.
Because winning is not a quarterback stat. If they don't win,
is he abysmal because O'Connell called the great game because there was great pass?
If you want to defend mid, then defend mid. It's fine. It is what it is. Like I'm not going to defend. I'm not going to defend quarterbacks that aren't top 10 guys, and we all know it, and then act as if they are. He's just not a top 10 guy. He'll never be a top 10 guy. It's just no point in having the conversation. He's not going to be that guy.
Well, because you have an arbitrary metric that you use that's just your own personal one.
Yeah, it's called my eyes. It's my fucking eyes. That's what I use, and he's not.
Well, yeah, but then it doesn't
guy.
exactly build a very cogent argument as to why you believe what you believe past. Well, just what my gut says. Okay,
it's what my eyes say, and it's exactly what I said about Geno, and Geno's proving me right every turn. So here we go.
It wasn't proving you right when he was with the Hawks, though.
What do you mean when he had
the Hawks? It wasn't proving. You're finally right when he's now down.
When he had 41 touchdowns and 24 interceptions over the last 2 years, like, oh wow! And then every time a game was close and he was in the red zone, he would throw an interception. Yeah,
not every time.
He didn't prove me right there. Most of the time, though. But most of the time.
He played like a top 10 quarterback those 3 years here.
The laugh track.
I wanted to use it when Jesse said my effing eyes. I was a little late. I just had
that really late.
I'm sorry.
That's great.
I was so late. I had to upload it. I'm pissed. I just really wanted to use it.
You had to upload it.
Yeah, well, it's already built into this thing, but you have to whatever. It's beyond the point. But I am so thankful. It is October 14th, 2025. We are having a Geno Smith debate, and this guy ain't anywhere near this division right now. This is what it's all about.
This is
right
the
here,
essence of NFC.
This
West
is what it's all about. Division be damned, the games be damned. I could sit and do this all day. I mean, I'm looking at Mike. I mean, he's locked in like I am. It's just like
I'm just letting it go, man. It's like a train right now.
I mean, look, Geno Smith Geno Smith all of a sudden fell off a cliff the moment he left Seattle.
Hold on. Can I say this real quick to everybody that's not a 49er fan that's like, oh, yeah, and you're the guy talking with Purdy. Go talk to my fan base and listen to how I talk about Purdy. You're not winning by being like, oh, Purdy's not that good. Yeah, and what are you trying to prove? I've been telling my fan base the same thing. So
that's the
jump on the
thing.
train with me. Jump on the train.
That's the funniest thing with me, because I see that a lot, and it's almost like people want to like offend you. Like, so, oh, well, my opinion is like your quarterback is ass. It's like, well, your opinion doesn't matter to me. Like, I hate to break it to you, but it doesn't hurt me and move me 1 millimeter. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think it is funny though, because we have seen, and this goes back to kind of my point that Brandon was talking about with the Seahawks. We have seen the national media always kind of have this idea that they're right. Like, oh, it's not just we're going to criticize them for moving off Geno and going in the Sam Darnold direction, or moving off Russell Wilson, going in the Geno direction. It's that this is why they're absolutely wrong. They're so wrong. It's stupid. And it's almost, and this actually brings me back to the Goff Stafford thing. How many of those pundits out there said, trading away a young quarterback for Matthew Stafford is such a bad decision. Stafford hasn't won a playoff game. And then that same year, he goes on to win the Super Bowl. We see this all the time. I'm still like, I haven't seen what the mainstream, I don't really watch as much as I used to, but I haven't seen what the mainstream thinks about Kyler Murray, and I haven't seen what the mainstream really thinks about Brock Purdy. It feels like they're high on Brock Purdy, but I don't know. I just know from those experiences though, like it is funny to me how, to Brandon's point, you have Schneider who's on the inside and sees everything for what it is, and then these guys outside the building are so vehemently against what they're doing, and then they end up being wrong, and that's what we're seeing.
I'm just waiting for Tom Brady to say, I've had enough of this, and just go grab a pair of pads. Like, I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting for it. And speaking of people ripping on quarterback, I saw the funniest video earlier. It wasn't a pundit, but it was a TikToker. I'm just scrolling. And he just goes, Josh Allen, go pick up a Chuck E. Cheese application. That's what the video said. And I was just dying. I thought that was great. So even the best get the business from now and then. And Geno Smith, he's one of the best in the business. He got some business from Jesse. Brandon. I'll tell you what, Brandon.
Brock Purdy sucks.
I want, when Geno Smith retires, I want him to give Brandon the scoop. Like, I want, how like when there's a retirement announcement and sometimes I'll let like somebody
I hope
do
he
it for
writes
him.
Brandon back at least.
That's what I want. Yeah. Well, that's true, right?
I'm still
Usually they don't write back,
to see. After that whole segment would have been amazing if somebody was just like, hey, Z-Bot, Josh Allen sucks, and then Z-Bot just like breaks the camera and like trying
during
to
the segment I'm reading,
screen.
someone sent in a super chat saying, oh man, it must be real tough to be a Bills fan. Like, we were talking about Geno Smith here, guys, for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
where's that coming from?
Z-Bot catching strays.
Listen,
You're
Brandon's
not even wearing
in.
anything Bills.
No, why do you think? I'm trying to avoid the talking of that at all costs. I forgot the Niners played the Falcons, so I walked right into it.
They could have given the ball to James Cook. I don't know what they were doing.
Well, yeah, well, you know what it is, Jake. When it's 3rd and 1, how about another end around? How about one more of those? Because last week the Dawson Knox that worked so well. You have a great running back. You have maybe the most freakish athlete to ever play the quarterback position. Let's run an end around to Elijah Moore on 3rd and 1 after your defense, who got eviscerated in the first half, gets every stop you could possibly imagine in the second half. Let's do that.
At least you didn't do a
time
play
with
action bomb like Ken Dorsey special.
No, well, you know why, they might as well. I mean, what's the difference? At least then you're not fumbling the ball behind the line of scrimmage like you did the last 2 weeks running that play. Jason's coming in. Brandon, take off those shades. You pick the Jags.
Ooh.
Puts it back on. Love it.
Those are not the rules. The rules are a win, I get a penalty.
We did not declare that in the rule book. Listen, shades are shades, man. Win's a win. Shades are shades. Megan back in. Wait, what? Jake's supporting the Hawks? Is he well?
I'm a truther over here. Okay. In
Same
Seattle.
Clearly, Megan.
I mean, Brandon, we talked about this before the season started. I changed my prediction. I had the 49ers at 2. I moved him down a peg, and I had Seattle winning 11 games and making the playoffs.
The Nick W. What's up, fellas? Here I was stressing over how the Rams looked against Baltimore, and then I saw the Bills game. Woof. Yeah, we all watched, Nick. Thanks for the reminder. It was one hell of a watch, so I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was certainly something.
Not a fun hate watch. Not a fun hate watch.
No, I almost had a fun. I was almost a hate watch for me. At this point, you can only get so bad with this defense. So Tommy Cox coming in. Seattle looks good, but it's still early. It sucks about Warner, though. I want to beat a team at their best. Fair enough, Tom. I think everybody does.
Yeah, that guy plays the game the right way, and those are the type of guys you just love watching. Whenever you turn on the film, he just stands out. Lose him is just a big blow and sucks because he's so much fun.
No doubt about it. Brian Beadle back in. Love all you guys. But Jake is the star. Rams should be 6-0. They just had the Christmas spirit a little early with all those gifts.
Brian, I appreciate you, but trust me, I don't waste my time doing shows with people who I don't think are my equals. Everyone here, including Z-Bot, is a star, not just me.
Oh, thank you, man.
I thought there was going to be more to that, man. I was enjoying every second of that. That was so kind.
Well, I mean, if you want, I could get into the Bills game. And we
no, we don't have time. We got to get to Freddie K. Baseman. By the way, Freddie, we got the pictures. Loved them. We watched the music videos. Loved them. And I got to give a shout out. That cover of Comfortably Numb. I thought I was listening to Floyd himself. It was on the money. Freddie, you could tell you've been playing the bass for 45 years. Nailed it, brother. Thanks for sending those along.
Freddie's in a few of those videos, too, that Jesse and I are yelling and hooting and hollering and all that. And then
Hell yeah.
Z-Bot's like...
Every time. I didn't know what else to say. That game was going a million different directions. That game was nuts, man. What's Freddie saying? He's saying, no Puka? No problem. Go Rams. Shout out to Freddie K, baby. Bored Skyler. Is it just me or do the Seahawks dominate this live stream week after week? In regards to Warner, I hate the Niners, but always terrible to see a Hall of Famer out. Well said. And listen, the 12 taking over here, Brandon. I mean, that seems to I see the poll, and it's a lot of 12s. It's a lot of 12s. Brandon throwing up that 21 for us. He's got the reverse cam on, so there you go.
Hey, and shout out to Seattle. I mean, I'm not assuming every Seahawks fan is a Mariner fan, but hey, Mariners are 2 wins away from a World Series. And Brandon, I'm happy for you.
So much fun. Oh, man.
Toronto won their World Series against the Yankees, so congrats on that.
Seemed like it,
Yeah.
I like to see fresh blood in that stuff too, so that's fun to watch.
Yankees lose. You've lost 2 straight, dumbass. I'm enjoying this. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. Just please beat the Dodgers. I don't care what anyone says. Beat the Dodgers.
I hate the Dodgers.
I'm not even a baseball guy. It's like, who wants to watch them win it again? Nobody.
No one wants to. Well, the Dodgers fans that hear that.
Who cares about them? Who cares? Michael Hyde. The Cards looked better with a backup quarterback going against a decent Colts team than the Rams looked. Going against the Ravens, practice squad. Go Hawks.
Here we go again.
Ooh, a little silver lining in there, Mike.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Feed me more. Battlefield came out, and Kyler now hurt. Oh, baby.
Look at that. That's funny. Love it.
Wait, is there a Call of Duty 7 coming out?
It's coming soon. Yeah.
He's got the two stack on Kyler. Maybe that foot's still hurting a little bit.
Yeah.
Man, that's so wild, man. What are the odds?
We've talked about it. You imagine being that good and you're getting paid like pro athlete money to do it. If I'm him, I'd say, Jacoby, hey, here's the keys, brother. Get under center. I'm going to go play video games and make X amount of money. I mean, granted,
this game comes out November 14th. That's a month from now. How long is this going to be prolonged?
I mean, say what you want about Kyler. How about the fact that he's a pro football player, a pro baseball player, and a pro video game player? I mean, that's pretty unbelievable.
Is he good at video games?
He is, yeah.
Okay, he's actually good because I remember they did some deal. I forget, was it Marshawn Lynch? And he wasn't actually good, but people were like, "Yo, dude, Marshawn Lynch in Call of Duty." It was like, I think he did like mocap or something.
Didn't Elon pay someone to make him like the number 1 player in the world on one of those games? Everybody found out that it wasn't even him playing.
Diablo.
Was that
Diablo?
Diablo, yeah.
Oh,
Diablo 3. Yeah, he had a guy, and then he got on there and he was like, couldn't
he didn't know how to
navigate the
play.
menu systems.
That's hilarious.
We don't think he did this.
I just remember thinking to myself, like, dude, you are a trillionaire. Where do you have time to be the number 1 ranked player in the world? And then I saw the same thing, Brandon. You hop on, you don't know how to play. It made too much sense. It was actually hilarious. I think it should have been a bit. If he was in on it, it would have been a hell of a joke. Feed me more.
It wasn't a bit. That's the sad thing.
It was definitely not a bit. Jesse, do you wear old man makeup on the AFC South roundtable? What's up with that?
What is old man makeup? I don't even.
I need to know
understand
now.
the question.
Do you wear a
I
hat?
wore
Why would he
exactly
dress
what
up
I'm
for the
wearing
AFC
right now.
South?
I was wearing the exact same thing that I'm wearing now. I don't know.
That's so
Huh.
weird.
Gonna need another $2 super from you, Feed Me More. I hate to dig into your pockets, but we need an explanation on that one, please. Tommy Cox, since it's 2 weeks till the trade deadline, do you want your team to make a trade? And who would it be? Be reasonable. We already talked about Jesse maybe being a seller at this point with the injuries on defense. Anybody here looking for anything in particular, or are you guys feeling pretty comfortable? I mean, we got a lot of 4 and 2s in the building here, so.
I got one guy that is probably just a shoot for the star, not a possibility, but I'm only taking a swing if it's a big swing at that. And that man's name is Max Mother effing Crosby. Outside of that, I'd probably just stand pat.
Hope not.
Raiders set up this, by the way, with the Crosby deal. It's very interesting to look at because most of these deals, a new guy signs a contract and there's bonus money involved, making it impossible to move him. What they did on the new money with him is just guarantee his salary, no new bonus money on it. So when you look at what actually has to meet to make that deal happen, if the Raiders want to jump, team is going to get Max Crosby on an economical deal for the next couple of years and not have to sign him to a contract extension, which will mean you'll have to give up more on the front end, but you'll get a cheaper Crosby on the back end with it.
I would kill to have that guy on my team. Oh my God, I love him.
I think he'd be a good fit in Seattle. Kind of looks like a Seahawk too. I could see it.
It's the right. I would do it. We've got to make a decision on our edges anyway. Maffe's a free agent. Hall's 2 years out. Marcus Lawrence Uchenna older anyway. I would love to do it, man.
Yeah, it's weird. I look at this Rams team and I'm like, I don't really know. I mean, corner is the only one, and it's really, I think Darius Williams is balling out, but they're really missing that size without Akello. So there's not a lot of guys that have that. I mean, I like Cam Taylor-Britt's, his physicality. So I think he would be in play. There are 2 guys kind of under the radar that no one's really talking about. I think are playing well. Eric Stokes of the Raiders, I think would be a nice scheme fit. I also think Mike Jackson is having a good year in Carolina, would also be a good scheme fit. I don't see the Rams doing any of their crazy F them picks trades. And if they did, I mean, I don't know. It depends. Like if this Puka Nacua injury was severe, let's just say right now, they just ruled him out for most of the season. I think the Rams would make a serious effort to acquire somebody. I don't know who that would be, but I think they would. I think I'm going to just go with Cam Taylor-Britt for now or Eric Stokes. But I mean, offensive line, it's hard to acquire offensive linemen during the season. Teams need them, even bad teams need to protect quarterbacks. It's kind of hard. Tight end, I mean, I know a lot of people would say Kyle Pitts, and what I don't think so. So yeah, I would probably just say corner. They're not having Byron Young playing the way he is and Jared Verse and then Josiah Stewart. They don't need to go out and get an elite edge defender like Crosby. They also are going to have to pay those guys as well. So I think it puts them in kind of a weird spot. So that's kind of where I'm at on that one.
The best YouTube username in existence. It's Bron Sausage. Can't win at home, but I can see a nice showing from the Hawks D line against a Texans line. Sam still balls. 31-17. Go Hawks. You guys are great. Bron Sausage, you're even greater. He's got the Hawks getting her done late Monday night. Senior Tiny Baby Goats. Wow, we're going toe to toe here with the YouTube username gauntlet. Wow, pretty impressive stuff here. The Seahawks are such a fun team to watch. Each game is a step on the path of development of a top-tier NFC team. And we talked about it earlier. That's the best part of this start. And with Sam Darnold here, it's also fun to watch on top of what they've been doing successfully. I mean, Brandon, that's got to be a kick, right? Not only are you doing well, but I mean, you're having a blast doing it.
Yeah, you're getting to see all sides of the ball, special teams holding up their end. You got exciting, young, dynamic elements coming forward. You can feel the defense just coming to be. And I think it's just a feeling you get. I think the Rams are a bit like this too. And I think the Niners would be feeling like this too if they were a little healthier. Which is that you haven't played your best football, that you're on that trajectory to where you can see yourself eventually playing the best brand, which is almost potentially a dominant brand of football if you can get there. It's all a question of can you just continue that development to that track or not? But they're on the pathway.
Duce, give a round of applause to Duce. How about coming in with a 50 spot, my main man?
Woo! Hey, baby goats, Duce, let's go.
Incredible stuff here. Back-to-back senior into Duce. Duce saying Rams need to show up in London. There's no excuses. And look, you're almost guaranteed to have something insane happen in this game. I mean, we saw it last week where you got a safety and then you got negative 10 pass yards and 11 points, and yet you're still on the cusp of winning the football game. I mean, Jake, you got to gear up for something weird in the morning coming up here.
Yeah. Hopefully Trevor Lawrence, the weird thing is he's throwing 7 picks or something like that. I don't know. I agree though. I do. And honestly, that's why I'm kind of, I like to play, teams at their best, but I mean, the Rams really got a boost not having Devin Lloyd out there because he has just been everywhere this year. He is all over the field.
Our main man, Roger Morales. I guess I'm replacing my coffee with a beer this Sunday. Verse and BY are going to have Lawrence in a blender. I got a feeling it's not going to be tough for Roger to do that the way those shots are being poured up in LA. I don't think replacing that coffee with a beer, Roger, is going to be tough for you. I don't think so. That's easy. That's easy money for you.
If Hainsey doesn't play center for the Jags, they are going to be so screwed. That defensive line, I think they match up so similarly to Seattle. I think Seattle has, Seattle has arguably as good, if not better, interior, but I think the Rams have a better edge. And like I said, 39 pressures on the Jaguars. So good luck. If he doesn't play and it's Monheim again, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Feed me more. Here, Miles G is mad he's not winning. It's hilarious.
What a ridiculous human being.
I couldn't believe it myself.
Didn't he call his team out and say that he was demanding a trade?
Dude, he went on a media tour. He went on anybody who'd give him a mic.
He wrote a letter. He literally wrote the letter saying it's all about winning and then came back a week later and signed the contract.
Yep.
And now he's coming back and bitching and moaning about winning.
And the thing is, any team would have paid him. It wasn't about the money. Anybody would have paid. It makes no sense.
And Cleveland would have moved him. If he forced the hands, they would have eventually moved him. He could have gotten that and he still could have gotten paid.
This could have also been kind of a throwing shade at the direction they went in, getting rid of Joe Flacco, which I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
How is this when you start throwing shade? You had 6 quarterbacks in the locker room in the offseason.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, but that pissed veterans off in that organization. I've already seen it. Kind of around social media. That was stupid to trade. And
how about Mike Tomlin calling him? Yeah, you got.
How on earth do you trade your starting quarterback, the guy you went in week 1? You're like, this is our guy, captain, and you trade him to a rival? You try to help them out? Are you kidding me? And Flacco's going to keep them somewhat above water. We don't know how long Burrow is going to be out, but if he can come back, I mean, Flacco went and beat the Packers with the Browns. So I mean, I gotta be honest there. I think it was so stupid with what he said, but there's a lot of veterans the hell are we doing? Is Dylan Gabriel? Are we serious? I don't know.
You don't give your division rival a lifeline at any point.
No.
And I don't care what Flacco does, whether it's positive or negative. It's a lifeline nonetheless. It made absolutely no sense. And I do the AFC North Roundtable. My main man, Chef Zay, he's basically saying that right now the Browns care about nothing but the bottom line because they're moving to the suburbs in Brook Park and building that massive new stadium. They don't care about anything other than the bottom line. Yeah. So Jimmy Haslam is basically just doing right now what'll get him in the headlines, get him talked about. And since they can't win a football game, it's Bengals stuff like
owner
this
too, by the way.
Yeah, a lot of that. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's insane. It's so bad, and I just wish that commissioners could kick these guys out of owning teams because they're pathetic. They're absolutely pathetic. I look at the Pittsburgh Pirates in the MLB. You should be fined and you should be kicked out of the league. The amount of money that dude could spend, and they're just a farm system for all the top teams. This happens in football. This happens all across sports. It's got to stop. These fans, they dedicate lives for their teams. Did you guys see the Pirates, the fans gathering around listening to audio of the 1960s World Series?
That was great.
It's that bad in Pittsburgh if you are a Pirates fan. It's that bad for the Browns. It's that bad for some of these organizations. And these owners are just like, well, I'm rich. They look at it as just a business, not like, oh, wow, it's such an honor to own a team and do right by this fan base. It's a business. It's sickening. I talk about it all the time. I hate it, truthfully.
Yeah, it's like them with Paul Skeens would be the equivalent of like the Bills with Josh Allen. You just waiting, they're going to get rid of him. You're just enjoying it while you can. Like, it's very odd. And the baseball is the worst with that because of the non-salary cap. But crazy stuff. The super chat, so nice. Funny boy Rhodey sent it twice, and he's saying NFC North, it's the best division in the league, fellas.
No.
And thank you on the Brian when we didn't thank him. Thank you for the donation before there, Brian, too.
Oh, yes. Thank you, by the way, Brian. And
yes.
I didn't even put it up. And how could I forget this? Because I need to give credit where credit's due. The Christopher Walken is great virtually, but it is indeed better in person.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Brian.
Brian, he's an eye for talent, and Brandon certainly is that. And he's even better live. See him live when he's in town. It's a rarity, but it's worth it. We have Fosto, the AZ sports fan.
NFC North is not the best, by the way. They're not the best.
I think we all can establish that. I think that is a no.
No, they have
not with the Vikings and Bears in this division.
They have the Lions, Packers, Bears, and Vikings. What about that makes you feel like they're the best?
Although the Cardinals are about to bring us down here. You need to get
right,
away.
Exactly. Well, answering Fausto here, maybe on a live play-by-play, I'll do this probably.
What is a Mexican grito?
It's a grito. It's the yell. That's what they do. It's a Mexican thing.
How does the yell sound? Give us one. Give us a little yell.
It's like the Mexican songs. That thing.
Oh yeah. All right. Hell yeah. I'm in on that. That might be deserving if they get the W this weekend. That's a big dub if they get it.
If they win.
Tommy Cox on fire tonight, saying Jesse, he had the lead against the Buccaneers 34-28. Mac Jones scored how many points?
Who's he talking about? Sam Darnold?
Comparing
Sam Darnold to a $3.5 million backup quarterback who had zero weapons. Okay, you win.
They're both no Geno Smith. It's not even worth talking about. Alex Marin, our main man, Alex Double X, the main man, coming in saying only real OGs remember Norb's McDonald's Wi-Fi connection. Constantly cutting out. Then 1 week, Brando comes out swinging, defending the honor of Geno. Yeah, it was quite the transition. We were fans of Norb. He would constantly be going live in an Uber. He would be on the show in an Uber often, which was great. And then Brandon came in and was a whole different dynamic, going from live on the road with Norb to live with Geno Smith, #1 fan. And the rest is history.
Oh, man. And right away, I knew it was like, oh, Brandon would go at you, man. He was passionate about his beliefs, and it wasn't something we had really seen on the show. And then all of a sudden, Brandon's like, no, I'm not going to get you off the hook there, and here's why. But and you're like, oh, okay. This show definitely just changed. So, yeah. It's
great poll,
funny.
Alex. Yeah, this was a walk down memory lane today in the best way. And hopefully we find a way to get back there at some point. Nobody plays the Raiders this year, do they? In this division?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Wish we did.
Well, maybe in the playoffs, right? Or maybe in the Super Bowl. We'll see. If Brady goes and grabs those pads, maybe there's a chance. We got Propa coming in. Oh, God. Being a Bills fan must be rough. Lots of great teams just to lose in heartbreaking ways in playoffs, usually to the Chiefs. Good thing I'm a Niners fan. Yeah, you don't know anything about losing in heartbreaking fashion to the Chiefs, do you, Propa? Yeah, you have no clue about that. I've often compared
that one.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are literally the NFC version of us. Everybody always tells me the Bills can't win with McDermott. Their immediate hire of Kyle Shanahan if they were both to be fired at the exact same minute, the Bills would have the phone in their hand and the number dialed and Kyle Shanahan hired within 60 seconds. And my point on that has always been both those two coaches have had the exact same outcome at the end of the year. And that is they can't beat the Kansas City Chiefs, no matter how close they are, no matter what they do, no matter how great they play. So, yeah, I mean, you got historical value on me. I wasn't alive. And yeah, it sucks. I mean, does it not suck? I mean, you can feel it, Propa, right? It's even worse for you guys. You were on the grandest stage. I'm getting whipped in the divisional, in the AFC Championship. I mean, I don't even get to enjoy the 2 weeks there of a pandemonium before you get let down. Maybe we'll see you in your home venue this year, Propa. But I tell you what, I highly doubt it. I don't even know if my Bills are going to win the damn division right now, the way things are going. Drake May, I mean, you got to be kidding me. The next Brady. I mean, it's just the story of my life, fellas. Don't get me going. Stockton slapped 209, just came on. I'll watch the replay, but did you guys cover why the Rams didn't kick a field? And I'm glad you're mentioning this, Stockton. This made no sense to me either. Did you guys cover why the Rams didn't kick a field goal to go up by 3 scores? So they were up 17-3. They were literally on, I think, the 10, 15-yard line. They did not kick the field goal. Now, granted, they did miss a chip shot earlier. Stockton saying, get rid of Cardi. Jake, I think in passing throughout the week here, saw you going off on people who want to get rid of Cardi. So you want to take a minute here?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Guy hits 26 field goals in a row. Now all of a sudden people want to get rid of him because he's missed a couple and he's had 3 of them blocked. I just think that's reactionary. I don't think that's really a logical form of thinking. But when it comes down to why he didn't decide to kick and go up by 3 scores, I think he really felt like it was time to get this momentum going. Right? This is the fourth quarter. This drive ends with about 13 minutes to go. Stafford gets sacked, which Sean McVay was furious with at the 6-yard line. I agreed with going for it because it's 17-3 and you're trying to go up 24-3. But more importantly, I think that touchdown in the red zone helps your football team. It kind of puts you on the right trajectory. I think the offense feels better about it. And, I think the defense, and this, McVay actually explained this, the way the defense is playing, now we're going to get them at their own 6-yard line. This defense absolutely stifled them. So, I actually agreed with it. I know it is funny. The next drive, they go 17 plays, and they go down the field and, go 74 yards. I think that was also part of it. They took 9, almost 10 minutes off the clock doing that. That's what I mean, is that they were going to have to drive down the field. It took them 10 minutes to go 74 yards, and they didn't even score. So I think Sean McVay made the right call. If it was against a different team, like maybe Philadelphia, I don't know if he makes that same call, but I agreed with it.
All that just for Stockton to come back in and slap you right across the face. He's putting the slap in Stockton slap, saying Jake's daddy Dodger is going to repeat. Think blue.
Yeah, they're absolutely annoying. They'll go out and they'll get what's his name, Muntaka Murakami. They'll be Team Japan to the point where you won't even need a Team Japan anymore. It'll just be the LA Dodgers. So yeah, so hyped.
I know, 30-year contract where they spread the money out over 75 years.
Yeah, so I know, right?
Burying people in the roster.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy when they have like deferred money like 30 years later. They're gonna be like, oh, the Dodgers forgot they actually have $300 million in deferred money that hits this year, so they can't sign anybody.
Alex back in. Somehow Jesse topped his eat a D moment. What was with the my effing eyes? Yeah, that was up there. I really liked that. I was a little late on the laugh track, but I loved it. And that was great. Tommy Cox, man, Tommy's firing tonight. Saying, by the way, Mariners just 2 wins away from the World Series. Yes, indeed. Looking bright right now out in Seattle. Stockton back in. Jealous anti-Dodgers haters. I love the taste of your tears. Must be nice, Stockton, to be a fan of one of these teams. I mean, it really must be nice.
For the love of God, you guys can't you guys can't lose this.
Oh, we got this. We got it.
You can't. The
country is behind us
on this one. I can't deal with this any longer. I
100%.
can't.
Feed me more. You okay, Jesse? I know we have beef, but you seem upset because bashing a player based on feelings is the most stupid thing I ever heard. Say, I got love for that.
It's not feelings. Feed me more, Seahawks. It's my eyes. That's very
it's
different.
Your effing eyes, baby. Come on with it, Stockton. Or feed me more, rather. Somebody said earlier you got to put Jesse's eyes in the Hall of Fame. They're gold tier. Tony, showing love. Richie sent me. Tell Woody to sell. Oh, no, Tony, tell Woody to keep on doing what he's doing, man.
Woody should not.
There's another owner can't get right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're doing just fine out there, Tony. You keep them doing what they're doing, and
isn't his grandson like part of?
Yeah, he's like the lead. He's like the lead of the scout department. I'm pretty sure he was doing the Madden ratings.
He should just take over at this point. Be better than Woody.
Yeah, I mean,
but then again, is he going to hire Aaron Glenn, who wasn't even a good defensive coordinator? That was one of the worst hires I've ever seen.
How about that just imploding too?
It was terrible. And I tweeted this out. I'm going to say this real quick. Aaron Rodgers, people don't like him. So they totally took Aaron Glenn's side. Aaron Rodgers said exactly what I believe happened. He went out there, It could have been a 15-minute conversation. You don't want me. He flies out to California to meet with them, flies out to New York to meet with them, and they basically are like, "Oh yeah, we're not gonna move forward with you." And why? Because I don't want other guys looking at you when they should be looking at me. I never liked the hire. I thought Ben Johnson was kind of the engine for the Lions. Aaron Glenn, everyone was talking about how you can just throw all over Detroit's secondary. I never thought he was a good. I never thought he was a good defensive coordinator, and I don't think he can lead men. I think that's why they're struggling so badly. I thought Robert Saleh had them, and I covered them in 2022, and I think he had them on the right track with, Ulbricht. I thought they had one of the better defenses upcoming. They could have been the best defense in the NFL, and Jimmy Haslam's stupid ass continued to ruin it. And so this is what happens. They'll continue to just churn out guys and just, be the same team and just ruin a really good fan base. It's frustrating. It really is. I feel for Jesse. I feel like, I feel for everyone that covers that team, and I feel for the fans because I think Woody Johnson is an absolute disgrace to the NFL.
I think he's doing a hell of a job. Feed Me More is in. It's all love, Jesse. Just saying.
Oh, no, I didn't take it any type of way. I didn't say feelings. I said my effing eyes.
Yeah. These eyes. Aiden A. Roundtable event in Seattle next year. We're thinking about it. We're talking about it. Rams, Hawks, maybe.
You want it. You need it.
Could you imagine?
We'll see. It was on Thursday. I mean, I'm not against going to Arizona, guys.
Maybe we do the Monday night or the 10 p.m.er next year if they do it again. Alex, double X, buy Mike a couple Micheladas.
Micheladas.
That's what it is. I forgot.
That's how you spell that. Okay.
Yeah. Good for you, Alex. That would have taken me 20 tries. And I guarantee we'll get a couple burritos out of him. All right. We'll keep that in mind for when we're out in Seattle next year. Maybe. We have no idea. We're just saying. We really have no idea. I promise you. There's absolutely no work being done on that at all. But we would love to do it. Feed me more. Come on, Z-Bot. The Patriots are a fluke team. Everybody's a fluke team right now against my Bills. Feed me more. And also, I got too much respect for Vrabel. Drake May looks great. And it's just a well-run organization. I mean, they weren't going to be down for long, and you're starting to see that. So,
how about the Titans?
Different hires, Glenn and Vrabel. That's just two different ends of the scale right there.
No doubt.
How about the Titans letting Vrabel go? A guy who was a huge staple in the community, and they bring in a head coach who they don't even really believe in. Then they have him stick around, draft a number one quarterback, and fire him 6 weeks into the season.
Because Mike was too intimidating. Remember? He was too intimidating. He was intimidating the front office. That's why.
Yeah, so was Brian Flores in Miami.
Well, apparently I saw that. They fired Brian Callahan because they didn't like the way he was talking to Paul Kaharski, like the media guy.
God forbid a football coach should be intense.
I know. Well, apparently, they didn't like the way he was talking to Paul, the media guy. I don't know if you guys saw those sound bites.
No,
it was like
I don't think I've ever seen a thing of Titans media pop up on my phone once. I mean, that's how relevant
I see
that
what you're
team is.
doing. I see what you're doing, Paul. Like you guys, you gotta look it up. It is funny, and it's I don't know. Maybe it's a sign of the times because Bill Belichick then, well, he was not making too many media people happy either.
Catalyst. I love Brando, Jesse, Geno, Smith debates. You speak for everyone, Catalyst. I promise. Feed me more. Did the big booty bot show up at the event? You damn right I did. I was backing it up. Backing it up and dumping it.
Flesh.
Dropping it like it's hot.
Damn right. I really was. I actually really was. CD Woods. I will never forgive the Jets for giving Saleh back to the Niners. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I'm with you on
You've
that.
got to give those coaches that are defensive-minded head coaches a quarterback to give them a chance for a fair shake. If you haven't done that, then you haven't given him a fair shake.
Saleh was unfairly treated, and he was unfairly fired, and I think he had that team on the right path, and going out and getting Aaron Rodgers wasn't a bad idea, but then they were like, oh, we got Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, so nothing else matters. The offensive line's in shambles, but we're good. We're totally good.
Defense has fallen off of a cliff since they've hired him. Jamarcus comes in. He says nothing, but then he comes back in and saves the day by saying, Jesse, if your eyes were a reliable source, it would tell you that Sam Darn oldie playing at an MVP level for the second year in a row. He is elite.
Preaching,
says the guy that he's elite. You can't end that he's elite and then tell me my eyes are broken, brother. I'm sorry. It's not the way that works. But good try. We appreciate the super though, man.
These eyes, Stockton slap, rounding us out, saying Yamamoto, complete game, feel the burn, haters.
Yeah, so it's so great. It's so hard to win when you've got a blank check. Oh boy, isn't it? And no salary cap. My God, how hard? What a difficulty there. All that internal development from that Dodger team, right? All that internal, you just grinded them through your farm system. No buying guys all over the place in the open market there.
Like he wasn't just like, groomed overseas in Japan. And this is what I mean. They're going to be Team Japan.
What's that? Reminds Mookie Betts, or was he? Yeah,
49ers.
49ers.
The other rival and my other rival. Boston
Your arch nemesis is all around. All right. Well, hey, folks, 2 hours in the books on a Tuesday evening coming off of week 6, and we enjoyed every second of it. Truly. What a ball. We got down the Geno Smith rabbit hole once again. We recapped week 6. We looked ahead to week 7, and we can't wait to see it as we recap week 7. Same place you're at right now, the NFC West Roundtable YouTube channel. Same time next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday evening, as Stockton rounds us out by saying, Dodgers have a great farm system. Learn the game. I don't care about the Dodgers anymore. I just don't care. It's football season. Get the World Series done. I'm rooting for your Mariners, though, Brandon. I like the underdog. I like the underdog. We're out, okay? We are done this evening. We're wrapping her up. Brando, Jesse, Jake, Mike, Z-Bot, thanks so much, as always, for tuning in to the NFC West Roundtable, and we will see you on the next.
Roundtable Sports Network is your one-stop shop for all things NFL, with daily live shows covering all 8 divisions in the league, hosted by the best content creators on the web, all on one network. Catch the AFC East live every Monday at 7 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The AFC North Roundtable live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. The AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. The NFC East Roundtable live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. The NFC West Roundtable live at 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. The NFC North Roundtable is at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, and the NFC South Roundtable is live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST. And of course, Fourth and Forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network, covering all things NFL at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. Real coverage, real fans.